least
We're
it's
up.
not King of Magic.
At least, yeah, you're right. I'm not even gonna say hi to everyone. You guys know what this is about, and we might as well start it. Dylan decided not to show up because he's a jerk. He hates us.
Wouldn't even tell us why.
Yeah, wouldn't he? Yeah, that's right. That's right. We asked him, and he wouldn't say. I bet he's getting the hose. But he didn't answer. So it's more likely that he's pretending to be Ahsoka Tano, dressing as her, doing the reverse grip with his swords. Okay, just before we start, might as well do a bit of a recap. So, from my memory, what I remember, Jon Snow said he was gonna reveal the existence of his dragon, but then he ended up not.
So he
Is that
killed everyone that saw her.
yeah, yeah, exactly. He killed everyone that saw her,
Or
and then
he
she
killed
just
everyone who
she
saw
fucked
her.
off. Yeah, exactly. And Ramsey, he was well characterized, but he died like a pussy, which is whatever. You can't really fault a death like that against the
But
what was it?
disturbingly well written.
Yeah, yeah, that's right, that's right. Disturbingly well written. That's an important word because I actually have not seen a better depiction, which is weird because this is supposed to be a bad story.
I mean, when your only good point is that you write a good Ramsey, I don't think that's a good point.
You know what? Yeah, that's very fair. Like you come for the cringe, you stay for the disturbing content. Okay, so he killed them, saved the Karstarks or whatever it was.
Yeah, Alice and Harrion.
That's right, and then walked up to one of the lords nearby.
Is it the
And
Serwins?
I don't think it was the Serwins.
Or was it
Wait, isn't it
Clover?
Carwin? Like is the C pronounced like an S?
That's how I pronounce it. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be pronounced.
I don't think it was them. It could have been, but I don't think it was.
I don't really remember. I
It was
guess
in the
we'll
middle
find
of a
out.
forest. Remember, it was the middle of a
Yeah.
forest, and they couldn't see it for some reason. Except he saw the small
Right?
shack with the fire, but he didn't see the massive castle or whatever it was. But yeah, they got there. They went to the maester or whatever, and then our boy Ned Stark shows up.
It's the Hornwoods.
The horn was. That's right. That's right. Exactly. And yeah, that was
Am
the
I
last
on?
thing. They. Oh, hello, Ryle.
Hi. I hope this works now.
Oh, I think yeah. That should have been everything, unless I missed something.
He reunited with Ned and Red Roach.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And not only that, but he gave him a cold look immediately upon the reunification reunion.
Well, he only gave that to Ned, not to
To Ned.
Roach.
And to
Yes.
Theon. He wasn't happy to
Well,
see Theon either.
of course.
All right. So I think we are ready. At least I am.
I'm
We'll just
ready.
do a few clickies here. Click this here. Okay. The Rising Sun by Derk and Full of Airs. Chapter 13. The Return. I guess he hasn't been back for the past few chapters. Those don't count.
Well, of course not.
Notes. Felt bad leaving you with a cliffhanger over the holidays, so I decided to get this out to you a little earlier. Think of it as my Xmas gift to you, my lovely readers. The next chapter will be in the new year. So I'll take this opportunity to wish you happy holidays and a happy new year. Smiley face. Enjoy. Smiley face. Don't worry, buddy. I am definitely going to try to
Next
enjoy this.
chapter, loved ones.
Oh no, I don't know. Wait, how long is it? No, please. Please, no. Oh god damn, this won't stop. No, I don't want I don't want to do no. I'm just gonna stick with my normal voice right now.
Only with dialogue.
Okay, I'll speak in the French accent only with the dialogue. I can
Okay.
do that. Okay. Ned. People were staring at him and John, eyes shooting left and right in between the pair of them. His heart felt like it was gonna explode out of his chest. He could feel the rapid beats throughout his entire body. His ears had a slight buzz to them, and his breathing was becoming harder and harder to grasp with every second that passed.
Is he having a panic attack?
I think so. Also, hello, Everpeach.
Where John is glaring at him, so you know.
Like John's glare is giving Ned a panic attack.
He's so strapping and powerful and wow.
I mean, he already was at in chapter 1. Remember? That's how Ned was looking at him.
To his right was a grinning Lord Hallis. To his left was a smiling Red Roach with his intended joining in with him. He was so glad they'd got her back. Thankfully, her and her brother had been rescued. Rescued by the boy. Man, that was stood. God damn it. You can't
Hey,
go
at least-
2 paragraphs without this.
At least he wasn't set.
Yeah, at least it wasn't sad. You're right. The unseen crossover is deadliest. What you're describing is a gay attack, not a panic attack. Oh no. By the boy, man boy, that was stood right in front of him a few feet away. Him and Red Roach couldn't believe it when one of Lord Hornwood's scouts met up with them, stating that he'd been sent to tell them that Lady Alice and her brother Lord Herring were back, safe and sound within the walls of Hornwood Castle. Oh, this sentence... He couldn't believe it when one of them met up with him, stating that he'd been sent to tell them that... Oh, so many of these... stating that he'd been sent to tell them that Lady and Alice... I expected like the entire paragraph to be this way, so I'm glad it stopped here.
I mean, he got really better. We have to acknowledge that. Remember the prologue?
Right. You're right. No. I can
used to write what you said just now.
I heard that as Horwood. Oh. I mean, that's a good porn actor name. Maybe. No, it's a bit too much. It wouldn't work. When he'd asked how they'd managed to escape, the scout just said, "Some bloke found them." Lord Hallis. Wait, no. If it says bloke, I have to say it in some really bad English accent. Some bloke found. Oh, I can't do it. Can any of you do an English accent?
No.
I guess not. I guess not. No.
I can do a German accent.
Yeah, sure. Do a German accent with this.
Some bloke found them. Lord Hallis has said he wants to present him to you when you arrive.
Perfect. I love it. I couldn't have done that better. Mostly because I can't speak the German accent. To say he was intrigued to meet this man was an understatement. Red Roach had even suggested giving the man lands for his deeds before riding off towards Hornwood without even waiting for him. All right, calm down. Given the guy
Yeah.
lands for just saving 2 people.
They're two kind of important people, to be fair.
Yeah.
Okay, I would
Why,
understand.
Alice
Like,
is the future Lady of Winterfell.
okay, no, never mind. That's fair. What? But
Also,
does it? What's up?
killing Ramsay should give you land on its own, to be honest.
Eesh. Where's John's scaly waifu? Oh, she's
She's
screwed off
hiding.
somewhere. Like after she killed all, like so much for the revelation, right? Supposed to be the big reveal that she's in Westeros and she's John's familiar. No. She just flew off somewhere.
She's hiding somewhere where everyone can see her, but no one does.
Yes.
she's basically only a trouble device now. It's
Like,
Yes.
that scene with Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy where he's saying he stands so still that he's become invisible. That's Kirena.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. He's joining Saphira and Smog's harem. No. Forgot about that. Why'd you remind me?
Wait, seriously? That happened?
There's a fanfic with that.
Okay. Miss favorite fanfic.
I like Myth's silence on that one.
Why do you
He
do
doesn't.
this to me?
Okay. Giving lands. All right. He'd not seen Lord Harrion when they arrived, but they were so happy to see Lady Alice safe and unhurt when they finally entered the courtyard. Seeing his son and his future wife embrace justified his choice even more. That Alice was justified his choice even more. That Alice was more ideal for Robb than either of the Targaryen princesses.
It's justifying his choice not to betroth Robb to.
Yeah, I understood, but the wording was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was very wordy way to say it.
He hadn't married for love when he was younger. Dark hair and violet eyes flashing through his mind momentarily. Ooh, I wonder who he's talking about. Oh God, is John gonna like boner just because Ned loves her?
Is John gonna cuck Ned just because?
I feel like that's what's gonna happen.
I don't think so. He would have to sleep with Catelyn, and he hates Catelyn's guts in this.
No. We're talking about Ashara Dane. I know where you're going with this, but I don't want to think about that.
No one wants to think about that.
In the technical
I'm gonna pretend you didn't realize what you were saying. What?
Shut up! I realized what I meant. I said you can only technically cuck a man with a wife he's married to, not who he dated 20 years ago.
I know. I wanted to ignore what you were saying, so I would avoid the mental trauma of thinking of John going to bed with the Thundercut.
Maybe Catelyn.
Oh crap! God, look at his comment. You're still reading this? It'll never end. This will remain with us until our dying days. Dude, this story, like, I don't know, it just keeps giving. Like, you guys said it would slow down, and sure, it did. But I mean, like, I'm being entertained. It's giving me a lot, and it doesn't give me a sense of despair like most of the cringe stuff I've seen in the Dumpster Fire channel.
It doesn't make you despair like King of Magic makes me.
And I don't know how you do it. Just reading those lists, I don't.
And after this story, we still have a Kami story to look forward to.
Wait, the Kami story. Has he ever did he update or like is he gone forever now?
I think he's gone forever, but his legacy will remain with us.
Oh my god, we should actually. You should probably like find a way to save it somewhere in case it disappears. You know what I mean?
Already did.
Oh, okay. Look, impressive forethought. Yeah, it is still pretty garbage. I mean, it's good garbage. I don't know what that means, but it made sense in my head. Okay.
It's the garbage that keeps you warm at night.
I like that. That is very
Exactly.
very wholesome.
Very poetic.
But he was gonna try his absolute best to give his children the chance to, and with the way the two young ones were holding each other, he'd not failed his son. You failed one of. Oh wait, no, that's him. La France. You failed one of them, Zo, didn't you? His conscience uttered to him. By the way, use of this word. He was now staring across at the man he'd failed for so long, and he was staring back. Oh, okay, John. Wherever he'd been for the past 3 years had done wonders for his boy. He looked strong and healthy. Oh no,
Oh no.
he's gonna do the thing. Oh, I can tell. Okay, okay. He must have grown half a foot whilst away. He'd been the same height as him before. He'd gone. But now, John must be the same height Brandon was the last time he saw him. Maybe even more. His hair had grown out a bit as well, mainly the hair on his face. Oh, the beard.
Oh.
Oh, the majestic beard, the amazing beard. Red Roach will definitely be having words with him about that.
What does that even mean?
What?
I have no clue. Probably it probably states his jealousy or something. I don't know. How dare you have a better beard than I do?
Sure.
Wait till my father hears about this. Wait, no, wrong character. He smiled at that. His two boys were back together again. He smiled at the fact that John was back, and the fact that he was indeed all right. Maybe the nightmares would stop now. Don't worry, buddy. Those are just beginning. He carried on smiling as he took in the rest of his son. Whoa. what, what are you saying here, bud? See, he's looking up afterwards. That means he is looking specifically somewhere. He's looking at his son's
Ned, there's something you want to tell us?
like, I'm sorry, man. I don't.
I mean, we
I think
already knew it from the first chapter where he was like that too.
ooh, my son is so strapping and
I
handsome.
mean, he also fought with Brandon. I think he also has a crush on Brandon in this one, doesn't he?
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
I did not need to. I did not need to think about that. Thank you
No.
You're
for
welcome.
looking up and reaching his eyes. I feel like this is one of those scenes where, like, you know when you go on a date with a really beautiful woman and you end up accidentally looking down at her body, and she's like, "My eyes are up here." This is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I was like, "My eyes are up here."
I know. It was an accident. Sorry.
Sorry, John. Sorry, Jonathan, because that's what his name is in here.
Oh yeah, Jonathan Snow.
That's when the smiling faded. You know, when he started looking into his eyes. Those eyes that had haunted him for 3 years. One minute they belonged to Lyanna, Ned's beloved sister, the dead woman. The next they belonged to her son. In the accumulated years of seeing those eyes, he'd never seen them look so hard and cold before. Ever. The glare he was receiving almost made him flinch. He could feel the blood from his face slowly draining away as he carried on looking at John. He could feel the anxiety firing back up again.
So it was a panic attack earlier.
Yep, losing his mind. The old man.
Like having a panic attack from seeing his long lost bastard.
Does he know? He slowly walked up to him. Sorry. The French accent just kills me. Okay. No, I gotta be serious. This is serious business, alright?
It's the reunion. It
Slowly.
has to be serious.
Yes. Let me just sit up in my chair. Just properly here. Take a gulp of water. That's some good water. Tell you what. Okay. Does he know? He slowly walked up to him, his heart beating quicker with every step. He could faintly hear the footsteps of his son and his intended following him. If he knows, I'm fucked. The look on his son's face hadn't changed when he finally reached him. Without a pause, he grabbed him into a crushing hug, one part wanting to feel his son in his arms again, and the other to hide his worries in the fur of his son's cloak. No, that's not too bad. We need to have a little chat when we're back in Winterfell, John whispered into his ears. No, hello, father, or I've missed you. Just straight to the point, like he was meeting a lord he had no intention of being friends with. Purely business. He knows. How? The only other person who knew was a Howland. He'd not seen the man for years. The man swore on his life not tell a soul. What had John done to convince him otherwise? In fact, how would John know to go to Howland in the first place? He swallowed hard as John squeezed him back within their embrace, almost to the point where he couldn't breathe.
I mean, isn't it common knowledge that Howland was the only companion that came back with Ned?
Yeah, I think it was.
So it would be logical to go to Howland because Howland would have presumably, like, even to those that aren't in on the secret, would know about where John picked up or Ned picked
Yeah.
up John.
No, I
So
agree. It would be common knowledge, and thank you. I try my best with the French accent. I like how he's like, I can't breathe. Just instantly after where he says where he couldn't breathe. Like, bro, come on, please, Derk. I know you're full of errors, but just this once, man. Don't repeat yourself instantly after you write something.
at least it's not a list.
No, that's fair. That is very fair. He clapped John on the back a few times in the hopes he would let go, but he didn't. That's how strong John is.
Ned's trying to tap
Strong.
out, but John won't let him.
He really is. He's begging him, please let me go, man. I can't breathe. He didn't want there to be a scene, so he stayed as calm as he could. With one last squeeze that felt like it had rearranged a rib, John thankfully released him, not even giving him another look as he went towards Rob and embraced him a little more lovingly. He could hear the pair of them muttering into each other's neck. It looked like the both of them were fighting the tears off.
uh, that's a little risque for
That sounds
brothers.
that sounds like a lovers reunion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. Oh no, no, you didn't hear
Uh,
that. It didn't happen. Don't ever
no,
say that word in my presence ever again.
keep it away. Just for one more day.
Wait, I made a mistake here.
Oh.
I'm sorry, guys. I said Rob.
Oh. Yeah.
I apologize. His
Yeah.
name is Red Roach. Red Roach suddenly released him and punched John on the arm. I feel like I should say anything Red Roach says in a posh English accent.
Nah, also in French. Remember, you did that with a scene with Rhaenys.
That's fair. Where the hell have you been? he said, almost shouting. He grabbed John and started hugging him again. Regardless of the current tension, it still melted his heart to see the two of them like this. I'll tell you later. But first, you need a bath. You stink. Not fair on my sister-in-law having to put up with that, John said as he smiled back at Rob before winking at Alice.
You Red Roach, you mean?
God damn it. Alright. I feel like I should just have alcohol here and every time
Much
I
better for Alice to have to deal with the freshly bathed Jonathan
Roach.
Snow.
Oh yeah. Red Roach smiled back at him before holding Alice's hand and planting a kiss on the back of it. Poor lass didn't know where to look with that blush on her face. Didn't she just come out of a situation in which she almost died?
In which she almost got brutally raped.
And like after if John never showed up, her brother would have been killed after watching him be tortured for who knows how long. She would have been essentially basically done by every single guy in the shack, including Ramsey. And then they would have probably made her run before shooting an arrow in her or something. And then she's like, maybe it hasn't even been a day, and she's already back to. Actually, it hasn't even been an hour,
And
and
she's
she's
perfectly okay.
perfectly fine. Like nothing happened, no consequences. The three of them walked back in through what? Oh, okay. The three of them walked back in through the door to the main keep. Alice holding Red Roach's hand, and John with his arm over Red Roach's shoulder. This was probably turning out to be one of Red Roach's best days in recent years.
So he's got his betrothed on one arm and his brother on the other.
I was gonna say concubine, but I mean, yeah, brother works. Jonathan Stark, the concubine of Red Roach Stark.
Jonathan Stark. Or Jonathan Snow, the Stark concubine.
Oh god, that's better. I like it. Let me just type that in the dumpster fire channel. Jonathan Snow, the Stark concubine. There we go. That I'll pin it too, just so I don't forget it. I'll also credit you with that. And by Mythman, the Master Miyagi. Okay. Yeah, you heard us right. We'll repeat it if you like. Jonathan Snow, the Stark concubine. He was not. Did I say? Okay, I did this. He was nudged on his right shoulder by Lord Hallis. He caught a quick glimpse of a miserable-looking Theon in the background. Turned up at the main gates with Lord Harrion and Lady Alice. Bold as brass, that one. Well and truly showed up my men at the gates, according to Lord Harrion. The Lord of Hornwood smiled and shook his head. Well and truly showed up my men at the gates?
I mean, he didn't really do anything except for glare at them and mouth off.
Yeah, that's literally all he did. He just talked shit.
He didn't back any of that shit talking up.
I like how a known bastard can talk trash to a lord's guards and everybody's fine with it.
Oh, but if it was any other bastard, it wouldn't be okay.
Yeah, like yeah, Gendry Storm. Wait, no, Gendry Waters or like Edric Storm. Kill him.
Oh yeah.
Jonathan Snow. Bend over backwards or forwards. Either way, he likes it. How is Lord Harrion? Wait, no, this is Ned. How is Lord Harrion? I didn't see him in the welcoming party. Ned asked as the pair of them walked into the main keep themselves. He was already looking around to see if he could spot John. Lord Hallis sighed. in a bit of a shape, to be honest. Maester was dealing with him last I saw. He did confirm one thing though. It was Roos's bastard that had caused all this mess, he said. He thought as much. Also, in a bit of a shape.
I mean, he has been tortured,
Yeah, but like,
but he doesn't act like that.
is this actually English though? I've never seen this before.
I've seen it.
Yeah, but like you routinely read the worst of the worst. I can't. Can you? Is that really normal English?
I
I
think
don't
in a bit
think
of in a bit of a shape is a colloquialism. I think it's from Britain.
I'll have to look it up. You're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right. My colloquialisms are not. I just read this comment. Please, I beg you, read Better Fix. You have no
where's the
idea.
fun in that?
You have no idea of the absolute horrors that await you in the future.
But we
This is
read
one
the
of the
good
better ones.
fics on our own for our own enjoyment. We read the bad fics in front of you for your enjoyment.
I mean, I could make a series where I read good fics, but I'd have exactly nothing to say. I would just be reading it. I'm like, wow, this is good, and that would be the reaction to everything I would see. Like I'd read like 5 paragraphs, and every time I'd finish the paragraph, wow, that was actually really good. Wow, this is good writing. It doesn't. I can't do anything with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably antiquated. You're right. I should learn it just to be because I'm old and I should
Know the
sound
old
like my
things.
age. Yes. Okay, he thought as much. Who's talking? I'm gonna guess
Ned.
Ned. Any word on where he is? He asked as they made their way towards Lord Hallis's solar. By the way, don't ever play the pronoun game. If you're
Yeah.
writing something and the reader is like, "Who's talking here?" If the reader is confused as to who is talking, you've
That's when you
messed up.
need a name.
Make an audiobook for some good fix. I mean, dude, my voice isn't that good. Have you two remember when that fellow Sam Gabriel got on my server? And he was
Uh,
actually you guys
No.
wouldn't have known about it. Basically, he got on the server because he's on a couple other writer servers, and he does audiobooks for them for their fanfics. I just wasn't interested in making one for mine. I never really like considered it. I figured I might as well finish the damn fanfics first
yeah.
before consider. Yeah, like no point in doing that if it's not even done. But he is very talented. Well, that's what I was getting at. So if I ever do make an audiobook, I would ask him to do it for me. I mean, yeah, I guess I could do a review for stories I like, but I don't think you understand the amount of time it takes to make a proper review and film it. If I do a review, I'll probably create a section on my website specifically for reviews in which I just simply write why I like the stories. I wouldn't film them unless I actually manage to make the time, which I can barely do that for writing. Speaking of writing, I finished the In Pursuit of Magic chapter.
I saw
It's
that.
it still needs an edit, but actually it needs a solid edit. Like there's a lot of things I want to expand on, but it's essentially done. Like
But
you
it's
would
on
read it
paper.
and yeah, exactly. I'll make it available to the higher tiers. Well, the highest tier. The higher ones don't really need to see it because it'll be out tomorrow anyway. Let's see here. Dead. Harrian told me so. Claims your son had sorted him out. got the bastard's associates as well, he said. Got a good one there, Ned. If my Larens had been born a girl, I'd have suggested a match. Ha! He said as he chuckled. I don't even. I'm not sure. Like, where
I mean,
do
you
I
can still
start?
carry him
If
off.
my son was a girl, I'd suggest a match. Oh dear.
I can't. I needed that. I like
Maybe
how
Lara
Ned's
already
only.
wants that.
Yeah,
The next reaction.
John has killed. It would have come eventually, but it still shocked him to hear that his son had taken another's life. Wow. Okay.
Isn't
The, the
this
guy the guy saves two people, and Ned's reaction is he killed people.
also this is
He's already older than Ned was during Robert's Rebellion.
yeah.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be a shock for him.
It should be a shock, and I don't know what high horse he's sitting on right now, but he
This is
knew that the bandits were like he didn't know exactly who it was, but he did know that these people were horrible and they killed a bunch of others and essentially mangled them. So why
And
is
set
he
out to kill them.
Yeah, exactly.
Taking
He
his
set out to
son.
kill them.
Taking his son, who is John's age.
Yeah, like Red Roach would have killed them too if he had the chance.
Yes.
I think this is just a modern mindset. I mean, you see that a bunch of times in other fics as well.
And also, yeah, you're right. He has been doing that.
Yeah. Yet another imposition of modern culture.
Yeah, like in all those Naruto fanfics, where the first time he kills someone, Kakashi takes him to the side and says, "Hey, are you okay?" And all
I'm
that
sick.
stuff.
I'm sick of that. I'm sick of that scene. It's
But
okay to
you-
kill for your loved ones. Will I ever get over it? No. You will never get over it.
Will I become a monster?
Will I become a No, you will never be a monster, Naruto. It doesn't matter if you killed 15 guys in cold blood and snapped their arms backwards while they were screaming.
I mean,
You're not
in
a
the
monster.
Naruto world, you either become a monster or you die.
It shouldn't like they don't they teach them about that in ninja school. So like killing I mean I get it, it's child soldiers, but at the same time it's
It
dumb.
shouldn't be an issue for the characters.
Ned, the Lord of the North, is shocked that his son is killing people when he is more than above the age of adulthood in a medieval society. Yes. As aptly put, sir. Can't judge, his conscience whispered. Wait, no, it whispered. You can't judge. There we go. Wait, did you actually hear the whisper?
I did.
Okay, good.
I did as well. It was hilarious.
Never mind. I'm sure a good-looking lad like that won't be short of suitors. Hell, if no woman wants him, we'll have him. Whoa, 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 bro.
Whoa, whoa. So Hornwood is a brothel.
I guess
Oh.
you can.
Castle
This includes
Hornwood
fun
is
after all.
officially a brothel.
Wrote something in Dumpster Fires. If no woman wants him, we'll have him. Would probably improve our guard tenfold. Oh, he's talking about training the guards.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure he is.
Sacred band? Alice said as he grinned. They'd reached his solar, but Ned couldn't for the life of him understand why he was even here. He wanted to see John. He needed to see John right now.
You literally just saw John.
And like 5 seconds ago, bro. Come on.
Like, Ned, my
Ned is
boy,
younger than John
you've
now.
got a problem.
Baby want bottle, all right? Baby want bottle right now. That's all it is. Alice, I know it's rude of me. Wait, no, it's him talking. It's Ned. Alice, I know it's rude of me to say, but if you don't mind, I would like to go see John. It's been 3 years since I've seen him, and I've got so many questions to ask him, he said, hopefully not offending the Lord. Lord Hallis nodded his head and started moving Ned back down the corridor they just walked through. So wait, this entire time it was pointless to go there in the first place. Okay.
Yes.
Of,
I love
of
how
course.
Ned,
What?
the Lord Paramount of the North, is worried about offending one of his bannermen.
I mean,
Is-
he's only so long the warden as long as everyone respects him, right?
I mean, true, but also, I mean, you can be a little forward with this sort of thing.
Yeah. It's like the liege lord should not be walking on eggshells around his subject.
Yeah. To be fair, this is the second son who wasn't supposed to rule and who had to fill in afterwards. So
Good point. I like
But
this logic. of yours.
he's had nearly 20 years to get used to it.
yeah, even in
Also-
canon, that wasn't enough.
Wasn't it?
Remember the scene in the tomb where he was with Robert and was like, Brandon should have it all.
I mean, Robert is different than the others, right? Childhood friends, all that.
What does that have to do with Brandon?
Wait, you said Brandon or did you say Robert?
I said in the scene where he's with Robert in the crypts, he's thinking about how Brandon should have been the Lord of Winterfell.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, true.
he thinks that, but he did settle into the role by then.
You
Like
can regret
overall,
something.
he was good at his job. Like his lords respected him. Like the North did well under him.
Because he didn't disrespect them left and right. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's fair.
But he didn't walk on eggshells around them either.
Also fair.
I think we don't know that because we never really see him interact with other lords in the North, do we?
Not on screen, actually.
I like how the comment section is hiding the comments that are the funniest. I don't know if you guys seen them, but you won't see them in this list, sadly. Let's see here. Where were we? Here. Of course, of course. My wife says I could talk for Westeros. Haha.
What?
I guess he talks a lot. Yeah.
He's always chuckling and saying "ha ha."
Talk enough
Remember,
for all of Westeros, maybe?
like Garion.
He's laughing. He's very happy. Why won't you let him be happy, Myth?
Because no one's
Please.
allowed to be happy.
Wait, not even me?
No one in the fic is allowed to be happy.
Okay, that's fair. Also, Dylan. He's not allowed to be happy either.
No,
But
he
Dylan doesn't need
abandoned
to
us.
worry. At the end of the chapter,
Dylan
we're
abandoned
gonna.
us. He can't be happy.
Yes. Yes. Please, go and see your son. We can talk later, my lord. He finished as Ned thanked the man and made his way towards Red Roach's room. No doubt he dragged John in by his ear. Wait,
That doesn't make sense. He said he's going to take a bath.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's taking a bath. Of course, John will be.
He's
there,
taking a bath with
you
both
know?
John and Alice.
yeah, like, wow. It didn't take him long to get to the corridor their rooms were in. Sir Roderick had found him on the way, But Ned, Lyanna's beloved brother, the awakened wolf, had dismissed him and asked him to guard the corridor he was heading down. The door to Red Roach's room opened whilst he was walking down. John came out of the room smiling. Let me guess, he's going to stop smiling.
Wait, he actually was in the room.
Yeah, he was in the room. They were...
They were having some family fun with Alice.
Yes. Very romantic. Oh dear. The Japanese communal. Oh no.
Oh no.
That's right. They did do Japanese communal bathing over there. I think. I mean, it's implied that they did because it's Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, he was in Japan, yeah.
He was in totally not Japan.
You be good, Alice. Don't want to get Red Roach in trouble, he said into the room. He heard Red Roach say, "Peace off," which caused John to laugh. The smile on his face dropped when he locked eyes with Ned. What? Oh, locked eyes. Also, as soon as I saw came out of the room smiling with Ned heading there, I knew this would happen
Knew
here.
that, yeah.
"I'll see you two later," he said before closing the door and walking in the opposite direction from him. "John!" he shouted. Thankfully, John stopped walking and turned around. "What?" he almost growled out. All right, this is a bit angry. Like, I don't... You've been
Yeah.
away from him for 3 years.
To be fair, he did find out
still
that
has mother issues.
Ned has another bastard out there.
I mean, yeah, okay, that's fair. Never mind. 3 years without a word, and that's all you can say to me, he said. Wrong thing to say with the way John's face morphed into a look of anger. He visibly gulped.
Ned, the man who's fought in 2 wars by this point, gulps at a glare.
From a teenager.
Yes.
John just turned back around and carried on walking away.
He's the actual lord.
John, talk to me, he said as he followed him down the corridor. John reached the door and entered the room within, most likely the room he was given. John stood at the door and held it open for him. "Get in then, you wanted to talk," he said as Ned entered the room and scanned it. The slam of the door made him jump and spin on the spot. God damn, when did he become such a pussy?
So can we officially make him back to the Quiet Wolf now? That John is...
I feel like he's been the slept wolf. He was gone back to sleep. Let's see what did Peach say here. "I got hit by a truck, but I reincarnated in a medieval society as the bastard son of the Stark Lord. So I decided to open up a hot spring resort with my overpowered dragon."
The sad thing is, this could actually be a Japanese isekai title.
You know what? You're right. Those like the titles of those things are gone crazy now. John was walking right towards him. It was only now Ned realized he had 2 swords on his back. What? You didn't see them before?
He was too busy checking somewhere else.
Oh no!
Yeah, he was
The
too
other
busy
sword.
checking his son out.
You know, the other sword he was checking out.
Yeah, he was inspecting the 3rd sword. You're right. You know, a great sword. I can't say it. It's as big as ice.
Oh God!
No, it's a bastard sword.
Oh no!
Oh no!
You need a hand and a half to hold it.
Oh no!
All right. I'm sorry, everyone. Okay, so now he realizes that John has 2 swords on his back. He won't hit me, will he? He released a breath he didn't know he was holding as John walked past him and sat down on the bed. Wait, with the swords on his back, he sat down on the bed?
Yeah.
It's clearly an invitation.
Clearly, Derk doesn't know how
I think he does.
things work.
Yep. See, this is also a reason why we do these videos. It's better to point out the stuff that's done really bad so that people know how to not do this. Writing well isn't about knowing the good techniques. It's about knowing all the bad techniques and not doing them.
It's like Dylan would be cringing a lot more at this scene.
And let me just copy paste this for Dylan.
Yes. You've gotta get the above where he realizes the swords are on his back first,
Oh yeah, it's fair.
so that he has the context.
Paste this here, and then at Dylan. All right, now he wants swords between buns. Oh no!
Oh no, he got
Terrible.
too used to that with Gary and then Master Miyagi.
Oh god! Yeah, to remind me of that. Okay. Sat down on the bed. He walked across the room himself and stood next to the bed, pointing at it and looking at him. I sit, he asked. Screw it, he ain't even a wolf anymore. He's become a mouse. Or like a rabbit.
Timid little rabbit.
Yeah. Ned Stark, the timid little rabbit. I like it. That's what he is from now on. Let me this is an announcement. Ned Stark is now the timid little rabbit.
Ned, Lyanna's beloved brother, the timid little rabbit.
Exactly. No, get a chair. John replied, emotionless. Wait, no, emotionless? No, get a chair. John replied, emotionless. This is gonna be awful. Wait, no, this is Ned thinking. This is gonna be awful, he thought as he grabbed the chair at the table and sat a couple of feet away from him, just enough room to avoid John lashing out. Oh my god, he's afraid of John.
Oh god.
He seems in the mood for a fight. He sighed as he looked at John, coming to the realization that he was a man now. A very moody man.
Oh no.
What did you and Red Roach talk about? He asked. John looked at him. This isn't even a thought. But I'm gonna read it in the French accent anyway.
Oh god, the spacing on that next.
Look, man, I'm not looking at that right now. Why was he so scared of him all of a sudden? I'm gonna read it like like this is correct spacing. He can E-U-W-Y. It's because he knows the truth, and the truth was damning him and his family.
Like if
None of your
John knew the truth, would he not have just gone straight to King's Landing?
Pretty much.
Probably not.
It's like
I would say he would. He would just go there and proclaim his kingship and just dominate.
it's like why would he go back to the north if he found out that Ned kidnapped him and that he was actually a prince of the realm?
To assert dominance, of course.
Why do that when he can go present himself to the royal family
and then get them to
have
do
the
it?
Stark summoned to the capital? That's more asserting your dominance than
Anything else?
Because he can't punch Fion in the nose. Come on. Don't be so
You know
obtuse.
what?
Theon's a hostage. He would have to go with the Starks
He can punch him in King's Landing.
in front of
Yeah,
the
but
whole
he would,
realm.
but he
Spice
would
things
have to
up a bit.
wait.
Yes, the weight would enhance the flavor of the punch. It's none of your business what me, my brother, and my sister-in-law were talking about. But if you must know, we were talking about their wedding and how excited they were. That's until some maids brought in a bath for him, and I was chucked out so Alice could take care of him. He said as he ran his hand through his hair. Wait,
Sure, that happened.
And talking about how John's gonna get the right of the first night.
so several things that are wrong with this.
He's leaving Maiden alone with her betrothed before their wedding.
That's one. Second thing, he just got out of a situation in which the guys were saying they were gonna rape her.
Yeah, and she
She's
is willingly
completely
staying
fine.
alone with a man.
It doesn't matter
Like, the
who it
fact
is.
that
She's
she
gonna
was
be.
alone with two men is even worse.
Yeah,
I mean, we already covered that in the last chapter where everyone was okay.
I know, but like this is one of those things that you need to continue repeating so that people understand it.
There have to be
Knowledge,
consequences.
knowledge is best learned through repetition. At least that's what I think. Ned, Lyanna's beloved brother, the timid rabbit, was momentarily worried. Wait, they're not. What? Fucking? Probably not. I bet his mother has taught him how terrible it is to do that out of wedlock. Ah, look at him referring to Lady Cuntlin,
The thunder cunt.
the Thunder Cunt. When will you learn that your actions have consequences?
Never. You'll never make me learn.
He said. I doubt you'd be the one to teach him given the circumstances. He
Ooh.
finished as he got. Oh my god, this
Shots
burn.
fired.
Oh.
This is a burn so bad that even milk of the poppy won't stop the pain.
Even Karena's lightning beam would hurt less.
That's right.
And
Finished.
her beam will just provide the ice for the burn to soothe the burn.
Yeah.
Oh god. He finished as he got up from the bed and walked over to the table where a jug of ale was waiting. He poured himself a hornful. You know, he just a jug of ale lying around waiting in his room.
It's only for the next sentence.
Ned wasn't offered one. This is a mistake. When you mess with the logical consistency of the workings of servants in a castle, just to have this moment where he doesn't offer him something.
Yeah. It's like having like a pitcher of water in the room. That'd be fine.
But a jug of ale, I don't know about that.
Yeah, ale would be reserved for the Great Hall for meal times.
You
Okay.
wouldn't get ale unless you were really important.
I,
Like if
I
you
would
if
Yeah.
you what's
I
up?
would only ask, didn't he just rescue like two important people? Maybe that was like one of those little perks.
Well, even then, if you were to have anything other than water in your room, it would be wine, not ale.
There. But I don't think he would have gotten that even if he'd saved the king, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's still just a bastard.
It's one of those situations where it's you should be glad you're invited here at all. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Now, like if a noble-born had done the same thing, yeah, they'd be rewarded handsomely because they're true-born and they're noble.
Pretty much. Does the North have a good? I'm guessing he's saying wine production industry.
No, they would get their wine from other kingdoms.
To be fair, isn't ale like really common? I mean, it's not like extravagant drink.
Yeah, the North also would have the harder drinks than wine.
So I don't see it as such a big problem that he has ale.
This is weird. I wonder if I can change the filter on my chat.
Are you not seeing all the comments?
Exactly. Yeah. I should just put allow all comments. Don't hold potentially inappropriate chat messages. Okay, save this. It should be good now. Hopefully. I fixed it. Okay. Let's see. Ned wasn't offered one. Why was this going so badly? He looked at John, who was now returning to sit back on the bed. Where have you been, John? He asked, almost pleading to understand how they had found no trace of him. He shrugged. See, pronoun game again. He. You can sort of follow through with this. This is obviously John, right? But at the same time, if you stopped reading here, and this is the next page, and you put a bookmark there, and you would see he shrugged. You would be a little confused because the next sentence also says he. So don't play the pronoun game. He shrugged. None of your concern. What's important is that I'm back. Back to see my family, he said. None of my concern. He almost growled as he stood up out of his chair and stood above John.
But only almost.
Little rabbit is showing his teeth.
No, he's getting ready to show his teeth. He hasn't done it
Yeah,
yet.
you're right, because he's almost showing his teeth. You're right. It was everybody's concern. Do you have any idea how many people have been looking for you? Even the crown had people searching for you. I did tell you in the letter I left that I was leaving for my own sake. You sending half the continent looking for me shows that you couldn't give a fuck about my wishes or choices. John stood up then and looked at him hard. He couldn't get over the effect it had over him. What?
Is he swooning?
Is Ned swooning? Oh God!
Oh no!
Oh
Please.
no!
Don't do it. He didn't mean
You
it.
got a wife, Ned.
You have a life and a wife and children.
Don't do it.
Don't fall to temptation.
Don't swoon for your nephew.
You know, when you say it like that, it's even worse.
Well, you know who's going to be your uncle in that relationship.
Oh no.
Oh
no.
Thank you, Ryle. I left for a reason. I didn't do it because I was bored. I didn't do it in some scream for attention. I did it for me, he growled out as he moved across the room to look out of the window.
Oh, look, like in Star Wars.
Oh, yeah. He's looking out into space.
I mean, would this keep even half a window?
A guest room?
Probably
In the
not.
north? You wouldn't really have windows in the north.
Yeah.
You're trying to keep out the cold.
It's like you
Like
would have
maybe in
small
Winterfell, but
windows every like spaced out every now and then, but they wouldn't be like in a guest room.
remember that even the shack had it.
Yeah, the shack had a window. You're right. This dude has windows everywhere.
Yeah, the North has a surplus of glass for some reason, so they can just throw windows wherever they want.
Easy. I've learned so much while I've been away. Met so many good people. Evolved as a person. I don't think that word's used in the old days.
No.
Wasn't evolution like specifically used when talking about the process of evolution?
I would have to look it up. I guess.
I think so. I think maybe it was used a
Like,
little
like,
before that.
like, I think the word must be older than the biological discovery, but maybe it was used like a personality thing before. I would have to look it up.
That's fair. Oh god, this comment. My powers have doubled since we last met, Father. And then
Good. Twice the pride, double the fall.
oh, you say it in a French accent.
I
I'll do it. I'll do it. Good. Twice the pride, double the fall. That would be stupid. Doing those fight scenes with a French accent.
Okay,
Uh,
evolution.
Ryle.
he said I think he
Evolution.
said
Yeah,
okay.
evolution used to be an opening of what was rolled up from evolutionem, unrolling of a book to unroll.
Like
What?
revolution when you spin.
Yeah, evolution is to roll out or to
Makes sense.
unroll.
It makes sense.
But it doesn't make sense in unroll as a person.
Très bien. Twice the pride, double the fall. I am Count Dooku. Dylan's missing out. He likes Star Wars. Let's see here.
I let my brothers and sisters down.
Oh yeah, I got so lost, leaving them behind with nothing but a letter. But if I was given the chance to change anything I did, I wouldn't change anything at all. I have no regrets. I've returned a better man than I left as. That's just a fact, he said passionately.
No regrets.
No regrets. No,
No regrets.
no regrets. Let's talk about adverbs. I use them. I try not to use them, but I end up using them. I think if you end up reading the chapter that I just finished writing, you'll see a bunch of adverbs that I could replace with a few words. I'm not sure what I think about adverbs, to be honest. I know a lot of writers that say adverbs are the most evil thing in the universe, and I know writers who love using them. What do you guys think?
uh,
I think it's one of those situations where too much. It's like salt. You can sprinkle it in, and it can be good, but you shouldn't overdo it. And if you can find a better word that can replace the adverb, then you should do it.
That's fair, but I mean, there's some you can't replace, like slowly.
Yeah.
Like you're slowly turning. Like what are you supposed to say in place of slowly? He turned slower than before. It's kind of weird, you know what I mean?
yeah.
He turned in a slow manner.
Yeah, but you could just say slowly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. I'm being weird about it.
I think the main point is you shouldn't have like said quietly, said passionately, said angrily, said
Yeah, you'd be describing like how their face shifts or something.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't always be said with adverbs, said with adverbs, said with adverbs.
Or like how the look in their eyes shift. Sorry, I mean how the look in the orbs shift.
Oh
Get it?
God.
Orbs.
I
Oh
hate
no.
you.
I need to react to that. By the way, kids, don't ever use the word orbs to describe eye unless you pull the damn thing out. Only then will it become an orb. And even then, it's more like a bloody organ than an orb. He was about to open his mouth, but John beat him to it.
Did you have to
It wasn't.
pause where
Wait, what?
you were doing this on purpose? Be honest.
I'm not. Actually, what am I doing on purpose?
You paused exactly on he was about to open his mouth.
Hey, no. Okay, never mind. It was on purpose. I'm sorry.
There should be a comma after mouth there. So there
Yeah,
should
but
have
that
been a
wasn't
comma.
that wasn't what I was. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, there
I
should be a
know.
comma. All right, the rules for how this particular thing works here. If the subject changes, so like he is Ned and then John is here, you put a comma. If it's both Ned in the sentence, you don't put one. Does that make sense?
Yeah. If the subject remains the same, you don't even put the subject
Yeah, that's true.
in the
So,
second
but
part.
sometimes you can if it's a long sentence, but like if it's
Yeah.
a sentence with like something in between these two words to make a clarification on the previous point, then you could get away with it. Just in case the reader is a bit confused, you specify who the subject is. But most times you don't have to.
And in a short sentence like that, this you shouldn't.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you put the subject again, that's just basically padding your word count. I wasn't gonna return. I was gonna stay where I was. A place that felt more like a home than Winterfell ever did. Whoa, Jesus.
Oof.
The only things I really missed were my siblings and Gage's pies, he said as he took a swig from his horn.
Oh. Oh. That's rough,
Dead.
buddy.
Oh, I wish I had that clip. Wait, let me check. Do I have it? Oh, I don't have it. I'm sad. God damn. Yeah, I'll find it tonight. After this stream, I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna add it to the stream. I mean, I could do it right now, but I'd be wasting people's time. Um, Ned felt gutted. Did you not miss me? Not even a little bit? He asked, afraid of the answer that awaited him. John looked back at him with determination in his eyes. You're the reason I came back, he said in a hard tone.
Oh. Oh. Oh no.
So John is a tsundere? Is that what's going on here?
It's not like it's not like I like you or anything, Baka.
No,
I hate you, but I'm coming back for you.
He's Ned's alpha, you know?
Oh no.
That's why he
God,
treats him like
I
that.
just saw this part.
Oh no. Oh no.
He does
Okay.
it on purpose, I swear.
His heart was doing little flips hearing him say that. What he said next, he said flips and made him anxious again. God damn it. This dude's messing with us. I came back because you have something that belongs to me. He furrowed his brow in confusion, mainly to hide what he really felt. Fear. John caught his expression and explained further. Don't worry, I'm not gonna claim ice for myself or, as much as your wife would expect me to, take Winterfell from you or a red roach. No. You have something of mine that is a lot more important to me, and I think you know what I'm talking about. He growled out as he got closer and closer to Ned. And Ned knew exactly what it was that he wanted. The same thing that made him leave 3 years ago had made him return for it. It would seem that it was the only thing Ned could really give to the lad anymore. His mother's identity.
By the way,
Get over it.
read the
Read the most
last.
recent comment.
Oh no. John, enough with the games. Just take me right now.
Ned, the little bunny rabbit, screamed lustfully as he tore off his clothes.
Just give me a second here. Let me just take a screenshot of this, and I'll head over to Dumpster Fires. Just immortalize this forever.
You forgot to add I'll be your Omega or something like that, you know?
No, leave the comment like it is.
Virginity. You're terrible, man.
Oh no.
Classic. Okay. Something he was thankful John didn't actually know about as he feared earlier. I'm sorry, John, but I just can't tell you. Don't worry, Lord Stark. It's nothing too serious. Just a little chat about my mother will suffice. See, nothing to be worried about. And I've decided we can have this simple chat in your home. Gives you a chance to come up with a good enough excuse as to why this information has been kept from me for 17 years, John said in what sounded like his most condescending Lord's voice ever.
John's already getting ready to become a prince.
Yes, John. It's late, Lord Stark. Been a very busy day today, and my bed is calling, John said as he put his hand on his back and started pushing him towards the door.
Oh, he's not invited.
Oh, Ned was like, "Take me now." Wait, no, I need to read that in a French accent. Oh, John, enough with the games. Just take me right now. And John says, "No, it's been a very busy day. You need to get out of here."
Isn't that one of the tactics pickup artists use? Nagging? Or something like that.
Hey, what?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I didn't
Okay.
actually hear the last word
Then
you
never
said.
mind.
No, I actually want to know. Like, you said necking? I want to know.
Sorry, you broke up. I didn't understand what you said.
I want to know what you said.
This is an emotional manipulation tactic to act coldly and after inviting him in, you know.
Oh, you mean like gaslighting?
Yeah, something like that.
There, I wrote a comment for you there, Peach. Oh, I almost forgot, John said as Ned walked out of the room. He turned around and almost flinched at the look that was being aimed at him. I'm gonna guess this is if I hear the words when the time is right being used as an excuse when we get back, I won't hesitate, John said in a low tone. He
You
looked at
should
him
say for the
intently.
greater good.
Was it greater good? Negging? I've never heard of that word. Let me look it
Me
up.
neither.
Negging. Emotional manipulation or negging. Who coined this term?
Pickup artists did.
Who listens to those guys?
No one. Mentally
Desperate
stable.
virgins.
Yeah, pretty much. Like if you need a pickup artist to get girls, you're just not being yourself. Hesitate what? He asked. John had really changed. That was very evident now. He smiled. Don't use the excuse and you won't find out, he said, slamming the door in his face after. Imagine threatening the Lord Warden of the North.
Lord Paramount and Warden of the North.
Lord Paramount and Warden of the North to kill him because this is the only thing that he won't hesitate to do here. Like there's no
Yeah,
hidden
that's the
meaning here.
only implication.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think it
he's
just means he's going to hit him like he hit Fion.
It's like
I
He's not
forgive
a
you.
he's not a kinslayer. That would be too far.
Yeah, cursed is the kinslayer. That's literally what they say in the books. Or like, there's no one more accursed than the kinslayer. I think.
yeah.
I don't know the exact quote anymore, but like, especially in the North, this dude is grown up in the North where like kinslayers are known as the worst of the worst.
And he's sitting here threatening his own supposed
Kin.
father.
Well, I mean, even if he was his cousin, still your kin, right?
Yeah.
Not direct
Like
kin, but kin
even if
understand.
like even if he knew it was his uncle, it would still be just as bad.
Yep. He
Speaking of
walked
kin,
away. What's up?
okay, continue.
I want to know. Kin.
Speaking of kinslaying,
I was just curious, what is this society supposed to do if, like, someone of the Stark family actually had committed a crime worthy of death? I mean, Lord Stark can't execute them, and because it's kinslaying, and they have the rule that only the one who passes the sentence must swing the sword.
they would
So
take the black.
what if they don't want to take the black?
They would be forced to.
Yeah, you'd be forced to take the black, and then if you decide to desert the Night's Watch, you're dead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and once you take the black, you forego any family ties, so that bond of blood is no longer applicable.
wait, seriously? So if you slay kin after they took the black, it's not kinslaying anymore.
Not if they desert, because you're once you take the black, you have replaced your family with the Night's
Night's
Watch.
Watch.
So what if it's a woman?
They would be sent to the Silent Sisters, I would assume.
Okay, but in the north they don't keep to a 7.
You know what? I don't know what they would do to the women in the North,
Probably lock them in a tower.
or or kill them.
That too. Send them to Bear Island. Let the ladies of Bear Island deal with them.
Yeah, isn't that I've seen that in fanfics where they send people to Bear Island, but I don't know if
Yeah,
how.
I've seen it in fan fiction, but it has no basis in canon that I'm
Yeah,
aware of.
I actually don't know what to tell you. Maybe there are silent sisters in the north because the Manderleys keep to the seven.
There's also the fact that the Silent Sisters are the ones that prepare the dead for burial.
Yeah, like who works on preparing the dead in the north? See? These are important questions that are never answered. Well, it's better not to have answers, to be honest. Otherwise, you'd end up with a Rowling situation. They just walk around the hallways of Hogwarts and just do their business right on the spot, and then they vanish it afterwards.
Oh no.
I mean, technically, George did do his own book with additional information. So
I know he did that, but I thought he only did it for Valyria.
no, he did it for the Targaryen family, like for the
That's what I
time.
meant.
Yeah, I mean,
Like he
Valyria.
wouldn't. Um, I mean, he wouldn't do something like the small details of the Silent Sisters because people are more interested in the story of House Stark or like House Lannister or the
House
Targaryens.
Targaryen.
Yeah, like they wouldn't.
What I was always interested in, if Valyria had always dragons, why didn't they conquer Westeros?
Because
They
they
never.
weren't interested.
Yeah, like the thing was, it was implied that there was low interest in the warring kingdoms in the West because they were considered to be petty kings,
Uncivilized.
uncivilized and petty kings.
Yeah, but in reality, isn't that even more of a reason? But like, you have land there, just do away with the people, and you have more land. I mean, that's how Rome did business.
I know, I understand what you're getting at.
But
It's,
Essos itself has plenty of land. So
I think they were
Valyria wasn't
busy.
hurting for land to the point where they would have to turn to Westeros.
Yeah, I think they were at the point of properly establishing their
I mean,
what's the word, society.
according to the book, they were 4,000 years old. So I think at that point they should have gone to Westeros at some point, or at least like a smaller family like the Targaryens did. Why did no one? That's my question.
I think they were busy with the East or the South as well. Then
Yeah, they did
they
have
tried for.
the Jaskari wars as well.
Yeah, the Ghisgari works took a while, but I also thought they were also going for Sothorios. Weren't they? I assume they were.
That sounds
I
familiar.
I can't
They
remember that
established
thing.
their stone roads, right?
Yeah.
And as far as they kept going with those roads, and I would have assumed, logically speaking, it'd be much simpler to establish the roads and then go to Sothorios because the water, what's the word here, the distance between one of the coasts in Essos and Sothorios isn't really as bad as the distance between Essos and Westeros, especially the different lands there, because the Vale is all mountainous, and it'd be pointless to go for Dorne because as you remember in the wars before, they just hid in the desert.
Yeah.
They probably would have figured something more along the lines of leave those guys. They're a bit too much of a hassle right now, and then colonize whatever we can nearby, and then turn our eyes west.
Yeah, eventually we'll get
I,
there.
I could agree with this if it wasn't for the fact Aegon had 3 dragons and it took him like 2 years to conquer almost the entire continent. I mean, that's
Yeah, but
how
you
many.
also have to remember they didn't. Did they ever conquer Bravos?
No.
Wasn't Bravos founded by Valyrian slaves?
Yeah, like, it was founded by slaves, and did they ever get attacked? I don't remember if they did.
No. Once Bravos was founded, it was never conquered.
So they probably had their own issues. But it's not just the Giscari they fought either. It was also the Roinar.
Yeah. And the Dothraki and
Probably the Andals. Didn't they
yeah.
drive the Andals away?
They probably interacted with the people further east as well.
I don't know anything about the East people. Like if you talk to me about the lands of As or whatever, I wouldn't be able to tell you a thing. Something about a dark city.
Yeah, honestly,
That's all I
same.
know.
All I know about that land is from fanfiction, so the information is probably suspect as well.
I don't even know. Let's see here. Oh, comments. Someone needs to write a fic where Rogel Dorn is reborn in Dorn. Who's Rogel Dorn?
I have no idea.
No idea as well.
Rogal Dorn. Warhammer 40k. Okay, I don't know anything about this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Everpeach. Forgive me.
I have no interest in Warhammer 40k.
Supposedly, a dragon originated in the Shadowlands. It's supposed to be filled with weird ones. Yeah, that's what I was told too, but I mean, I don't. I'd have to read
Well,
up on it.
Dany's dragons were found in Ashai.
Yeah, her eggs. Her eggs
Yeah,
were
her
from there,
dragon
but it
eggs.
doesn't necessarily mean they're all from there.
Yeah.
I
Like,
actually
it's
read.
definitely implied that the dragons originated from Valyria.
I actually read a fanfiction where the eggs were from the north, and they were stolen from John. John was supposed to have.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
no.
I swear, if there's a plot like that in this story, I swear to God, man.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I see. You pinged me in a. Okay, there it is. That's Rogel Dorn. All right. Anyway, where were we here? Something about hesitation and. Well, okay. He walked away in a daze, hopefully in the direction of his bed. He's so confused by the entire situation and intimidated that he can't even recognize where the direction to his bed is. John wouldn't accept anything but an answer to his burning question, and expected an explanation as to why it took so long to be answered. I'm fucked. Unless. Oh, I like where this is going. What are you gonna do now? This would take some thinking, but in the end, his family would be safe, and John would have his answer. The answer
Oh, no.
just couldn't be the truth, that's all. He just had to make the lie stick and prevent anything from debunking it, seeing the light of day. Let me guess, he's gonna pretend.
That it's a Shara.
Yep. Yep.
Without
He
knowing
does.
that John has already met Ashara.
Yep.
It's that on arrival.
He heard the rumors around Winterfell. He wasn't deaf to them. He just had to convince John of their credibility and hope him or John never meet the woman ever again.
Honestly, that's not a bad plan on Ned's part.
Yeah, like he
He's just
doesn't
acting with
know.
incomplete information.
I know exactly why Derk went back on his promise to reveal the dragon. It's to have this scene and the subsequent scene. Make sense?
Yeah.
Which scene?
The whole I have to lie to John about who his mom is so that
To
John
draw
calls him
out
out on it.
the quote unquote reveal even longer.
Because if
yeah.
Ned knew the John had a dragon, he
There'd be
would
no
consider
hiding it.
there'd be no like. First of all, he would assume that John has a suspicion of his Targaryen lineage, or that John might have gone to see the woman in question. And
Yeah.
also, if he had a dragon, then he wouldn't tell him. Like he wouldn't even assume that John had gone to see her. He would fear that John would just get on the dragon and fly down there to see her.
Yeah.
Here, this is your mom. All right, bye. See you in a week.
All right.
And
Bye,
John comes
Felicia.
back.
I'm gonna go see my mommy.
Are you my mommy? That was a good scene. Rodrim expat set in the Shadowlands for the dude. Sometimes you say things and I just get confused.
Yeah,
You say Haradrim, and you know what I think? I think Diablo.
you say Herodrum, and I don't know what to think because I don't know what that is.
I don't like if it's not Diablo. I have no idea what you're talking about. Which it's probably not Diablo because you're saying a Haradrim expat, which means Haradrim is a country, which means Lord of the Rings. Is a Haradrim in Lord of the Rings?
Not familiar with that name.
Haradrim, the one wicked to rule them all. Known in Westron as the Southrons and once as the Swordings by hobbits. The men from Harad in the region of Middle Earth directly south of Gondor. So that's what a Haradrim person is. He's from Harad. Oh, hey, Rainey's point of view. Oh, we're about
Our
40%
little ray
in
of
the chapter.
sunshine.
Oh no, the ray of sunshine. Please. Oh, okay.
Come on,
I don't know
man.
if you. I don't know if you saw the dumpster
We
fire.
successfully forgot that.
Oh yeah, why'd you have to remind me of the ray of sunshine? Haradrim are those guys on the elephants.
I thought those were the Easterlings.
Okay, nobody cares about that. Let's continue.
Hey, I care about that. We must know.
I don't. Continue. 20 years
I
old. She
do
was
though.
20
Two
years
out of
old.
2 out of 3 care. That means we win, right? Unless you suddenly don't care, then I lost.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah. Ray of sunshine. 20 years old. She was 20 years old. That fact hit her like a runaway carriage. Okay.
Oh no.
I'm getting old. I'm not long for this world anymore. What?
She's so dramatic.
You're
You can
20.
definitely tell she's related to John.
I'm 30 and I think I got a few years in me.
All your fewer.
She must have said those thoughts out loud since her mother was tutting at her. You're not getting old, darling. Stop being dramatic. Thank you. Thank you, Elia.
Thank you, Elia.
Spitting facts.
Her mother said as she helped her with her hair. She had maids, but her mother still enjoyed doing her hair from time to time, mainly on special occasions, like her name day. She didn't want a massive fuss being made over it, but according to father, since all the family was in King's Landing for the first time in years, they were going to do just that, much to her annoyance.
Oh, hey,
Oh,
he wrote going to instead of gonna.
oh my god.
Is that improvement?
Let me just like wipe my glasses for a second. Did I see that right? Wow. Incredible. Good job. Also, Everpeach is gonna turn 24 next month.
Nice.
Happy birthday in advance.
I will be
You're an
turning
old man
28
now.
next month.
Wow. You're an older man now.
Yep.
Wait, how old are you turning?
I'll be turning 28.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ryle's like 70. Don't worry.
Yeah. Ryle's an old man.
Yeah, fuck off.
Get off my lawn! Those darn kids!
Get off my lawn!
You sound more like an old man than either of us. Okay, don't worry, buddy. I'm pretty old too.
You're just jealous I'm more mature than you.
Honestly, anyone is more mature than I am. Duty. Sorry.
Duty.
God damn it. Okay. Serious time. Okay.
Like serious plot.
Especially, he is the least serious person in the entire universe. Especially with some of the people he'd invited for it. Unfortunately, the people she would have liked to have appeared were unable to, for whatever reason. Uncle Ober and Ilaria couldn't make it because they were visiting Ilaria's father in Hellholt. Uncle Doran couldn't because of his health. Dude, he can't walk. You can just haul him in a chair. And Ariane was almost running Sunspear single-handedly due to her father being away at the Water Gardens and Viserys and Quentin being in King's Landing. She should have been annoyed, but she wasn't. Because she didn't want this, especially with who had turned up at the keep. She knew the reason for it, but she refused to believe her father would stoop to that level. Cersei Baratheon, the wife of Stannis Baratheon, and her brood had been invited for the celebrations. This is so weird.
Oh no.
This is so weird.
She's still a
Why?
Baratheon. She will always be Cersei Lannister to us. I mean, let's be
I'm
honest.
actually curious as to how the kids would have turned out
Yeah, because
raised by
Jaime's
Stannis.
still a Kingsguard. Hasn't been in Storm's End with her.
Yep.
I mean, we don't know that yet.
I'm assuming that's the case.
I mean, wasn't Stannis okay, not in this, but he was master of ships in
In
King's
canon,
Landing.
In canon, but I highly
Yeah.
doubt that Stannis will be master of ships, considering his brother tried to rebel against the crown.
Yeah.
But he could have visited King's Landing, and in that time,
Possible. Possible.
Yeah, that for maybe one of the children, but there's no way all of them could have been timed in such a way that she was only pregnant after visits to King's Landing. There's no way Stannis wouldn't have caught on.
Let's see what her kids would look like if they're even described, along with her brother-in-law, Renly. Rhaenys wanted to believe her father had invited the Baratheon clan to keep good faith with the family he'd fought against in the rebellion, but she knew better. It was to get her closer to Joffrey and Renly. Joffrey. We have a Joffrey. I wonder if he's like the... Let's see if he's like the king. Why? Okay. I know that she called her children... she named her children after Western lords and ancient Western kings.
Yeah.
But if Stannis is her husband, he would have insisted that one of them would have a...
Definitely the firstborn would have had a Stormland name.
A Stormlord name, yeah. Stormland name, obviously. I don't know why I said Stormlord, but yeah.
Well, the lords of the Stormlands are called the Stormlords, so...
That's fair. She'd met Renly once before, when he'd visited her father on behalf of his brother Stannis.
As if that wasn't clear.
Yeah, like... he'd visited her father. Why? Tall, handsome, charming, and seemed like one of the easiest people to talk to. He was a little up himself. but not as much as some lords she'd met before, and most importantly, in her father's eyes, unwedded. Unfortunately for her father, Brendley was about as interested in wedding her as she was with him. At first, she didn't understand why he seemed so uninterested in her, and she had to admit it wounded her pride a little, but then she noticed why he wasn't interested. She didn't have the right parts between her legs, and she didn't look like Loras Tyrell. This feels the delivery of this is so cringe.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys read a fanfiction called The Prancing Stag.
I've
It
heard
just
that name.
it just updated today.
I know. I haven't read the update yet, but that's a good story. A guy is put in Renly's body like a self-insert
Yep.
around the time the story starts.
I think shortly before they go north.
Yeah, something like that. And this whole thing here, it just reminded me of that story and how much better it is. Like, he can't be interested in her for any other reason than he's gay. This is like, I see this part, that's what I understand of it. Like, ugh, this is terrible.
I mean, he was still gay in that story.
I know he's still gay in that story, but like, you can be straight and not be attracted to someone of the other
Yeah,
sex.
like
Same with gay people.
you're not automatically attracted to everyone of the sex you're attracted to.
Some people seem to think otherwise.
Yeah, they're dumb. Like, oh, you had the part with Red Roach more or less rejecting her. Did he seem like he wanted to take her to bed instantly? No. He probably like eyed her a few times, but it wasn't that he like looked at her in any other way than a nuisance. Because he was in love with Alice. So, like this part here, it kind of makes me cringe because the writer doesn't actually understand how basic human attraction works, and it has nothing to do with
I
this.
mean, I don't want to give him any credit, but what I think he's trying to do is to portray her like a little vain, like anybody
Yeah,
who
I
sees
understand
her
that.
would fall in.
I understand what you're trying to say. So, like, you're saying that since this is her point of view, her own biases are in the narration, which
Yeah,
it
but
makes more sense that way.
I doubt that was.
Probably
I
not
don't know if
intentional.
I don't. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Did he do it with intentional, or is this just a byproduct that happened because he doesn't understand it?
At the end of it all, she felt ridiculous for being annoyed at a man who didn't find her desirable, even when she wasn't that interested in him in the first place. She was still civil with Renly for the rest of his stay, but he would always annoy her now, for making her feel stupid. Annoyed with a gay man for not desiring you? Whatever next?
That word didn't exist back then,
Yeah,
or if it
gay.
did, it meant just being joyous
Like,
or
didn't they
happy.
call them sword swallowers?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, they did. I mean, it was a pejorative, but I mean, this word did not. I
Yeah,
didn't even see that word used in normal speech in that story at any time.
yeah.
Her pride would get her into trouble one day, and then there was the other one, the other person on the list of suitors, Joffrey Baratheon, the wretch of Storm's End, Danny liked to call him. This is not
Oh,
looking good.
oh no.
let's see. Oh, yeah, read the paragraph.
She'd only ever met him once as well. And my god, was he the most
Gods.
ridiculous boy she'd ever had the displeasure of meeting. His mother was nearly as bad as him, so it was clear where he got it from. Ursula and Tommen must have been gifted to that family by the gods, just to even out the crazy. Both of them were saints compared to the Wicked Witch and her little monster. Whoa.
So,
Oh,
so he couldn't be bothered to make up names. He just took them from canon,
Yeah,
and
he
and
probably
Stannis,
he just copy pasted them from
yeah, and Stannis accepted that, just like that.
I mean, you see that in a lot of fanfics where Cersei is married to someone else.
and still has the same kids.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a problem.
it is a problem.
I've also seen fanfics where she doesn't name them after those three.
This is so good. All right, that was unfair. Cersei Baratheon wasn't that bad.
She is. She's even worse than you
She
think.
was she was one of the most protective mothers she'd ever seen. The problem was she was a little too protective, to the point where her son could do no wrong.
The first Karen.
Oh, God.
Yeah, in Westeros, it's not Karen. It will be Cersei in the modern times.
Imagine a movie title, right? Karen, the beginning. you'd have you'd have like, it starts with a black screen, like the trailer, it starts with a black screen, and you have the trailer voice guy. In the beginning, life was good. And then there was a girl born named Karen. And then it starts just going downhill.
Long
Like he
ago,
literally
the world was the customer service industry was in harmony. Then everything changed when the Karens attacked.
you'd have like, what's the word I'm looking for here? You'd have montages of women shouting at people. This is the story of how they came about. Then you move to Cersei.
Oh,
All right. Something that was very dangerous for House Baratheon and maybe even the realm. If a betrothal between her and that boy was ever announced, she'd be gone by the time the sun rose the next day. Probably leave a special present in one of her father's desk drawers. Probably eat some
draws.
of that spicy beef stew that I didn't agree with her that one time. Make it Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no!
Ugh.
Ah, ah,
If Dylan were here, he would say, "Delicious."
uh,
I'm kidding. He wouldn't say that. I should be nicer
that's
to Dylan.
not.
Let, let,
No.
let's pretend we didn't see that part.
Yeah.
What are you smiling about? Her mother asked as she finished with her hair. Nothing, she replied as she stood up from her chair. Liar, her mother replied, but said no more of it. They were disrupted by a knock at the door, and Sir Oswell poking his head through it. Wait, did he just like smash his head through the door? It's like, knock, knock, knock.
Knock, knock,
Bam!
smash.
Smash! The splinters flying everywhere with Sir Oswell poking his head. Sorry to disturb your graces, but Lady Baratheon is seeking an audience with you, my queen, he said. She just rolled her eyes as she looked at her mother. A look of annoyance could be seen on the queen's face as she nodded her head. I'll be with you shortly, Oswell. I'm just going to finish talking with my daughter. Elia replied as Sir Oswell nodded his head and shut the door. You know what she'll be wanting you for, don't you? She'll be trying to get you on board with betrothing me to that vicious little idiot she calls a son, she said as she looked over her jewelry in consideration. Maybe the rubies today. She heard her mother scoff from the bed she was currently sat on. God damn it. No. I thought we escaped this.
No.
It's no
You
it's
never
One
no
did.
step
secret.
forward, two steps back.
500 steps back. What are you talking about? Two? I wish it was two. It's no secret that I would like you to marry sooner rather than later, but I choose you being unmarried for the rest of your life before I promise you to that brat, her mother said. I like how they all hate Joffrey for, like, doing absolutely nothing.
So I love how every fan fiction author writes Joffrey as the same as in canon when he's not the crown prince.
I know. It's weird. Like, he's not on the top of the totem pole, but he acts like he is.
No one
Which
likes
I understand
Joffrey.
some lords act like that, but they're well aware of what their standing is in comparison to people who are above them.
And in this one in particular, there's no way
Yeah, like
Stannis is gonna let him get away with that.
uh, um yeah, like t- Joffrey's entire personality is because his father ignores him and his mother just like
Lets him
spoils
get
him to
away
the
with
point of it being
anything.
ridiculous. Yeah. But it's the part where he tries to please his father by like doing some crazy stuff and his father reacts badly to it that it gets worse. So I doubt Stannis would ever let it get to that point.
Oh
Because
no.
Stannis is a guy who loves his kids,
Yeah.
no matter who the mother is, because his wife in canon is one of the most unpleasant people ever.
But he still loves Shireen.
Yeah, exactly.
I bet
But let's
Shireen doesn't even exist in this.
probably not. And even then, there is no reason there would be any sort of issues in his household, considering he inherited Storm's End, the place he has always wanted.
Yeah.
Let's see how this goes. Um, she looked through the reflection of the looking glass at her mother and gave her a sheepish smile. Thank you, mother. I know I said I would at least try more, and I did when we were back in Winterfell with Red Roach Stark. She shook her head. Red Roach had other ideas, though, with the way he talked about Lady Alice Karstark. He was already in love. I couldn't destroy that, she said, as she started tying her ruby-encrusted gold bracelet on her wrist. Her ruby-encrusted gold bracelet. Jesus Christ, I wish I had one of those.
I love how so many authors get hung up on love in these
Oh
Game
yeah,
of Thrones fics.
he married for
It's
love.
like nobles do not marry for love. They can grow to love their partners, but they do not marry for love.
Any of them who marry for love end up facing terrible consequences,
Yeah.
like Prince Oberyn. Essentially, his line
Did he
of
marry?
succession. He he isn't married.
He never married because he didn't want to make that he didn't want to tie himself down
Yeah, he didn't want to tie himself down, and like his entire line now is gone.
because they're all bastards.
They're all bastards, and he's dead.
That and he didn't have any sons at all.
That too. Okay. She started putting her earrings in, but stopped mid-action. That reminds me. Has there been any more news regarding Lady Alice's disappearance? Oh no, John is gonna get mentioned here, isn't he? Let's see. I can't imagine what Red Roach is going through right now, she asked as she eventually put her earring on. The other earring was just about in when her mother replied, Not yet, no. Lord Varys has been keeping a close eye on the scene ever since we received the letter Lord Stark sent, announcing hers and her brother's disappearance. Hers. According to Varys, Lord Stark believes it's a kidnapping, and even went as far as to name the perpetrator, she said. And who has he been accusing? She asked. Ramsay Snow, Lord Bolton's son. She answered as she stood up from where she was sat. Okay, calm down here. And walked over to the table, plopping a grape in her mouth from the fruit bowl that laid on it. The word Snow brought forgotten thoughts back to her mind. The Starks haven't had a great time of it with all the disappearances they have they? She said as she looked over which rings to wear. And what is that supposed to mean, Rainey's? Ah, you pissed her off, little Ray.
The little ray of
Mother asked.
sunshine pissed her mommy off.
Nah, she's not a ray of sunshine in this one because his mommy is angry. Her mother asked in a rather annoyed tone. She turned and looked at her. A stern look, almost angry, was what she was met with. She frowned in confusion. Well, Red Roach's intended had disappeared recently, as we have just been discussing, and a few years back, Lord Stark's son disappeared without a trace as well. She explained as she saw her mother's stern look fade. She almost looked embarrassed now.
Elia thought Rhaenys was talking about Lyanna.
She turned back to her jewelry and started trying a few of the ring on. What? Oh, a few of the rings on. Why? What did you think I meant, Mother? She asked, still fiddling with her rings. Nothing. Just forget I ever said anything, came her mother's curt reply. She knew exactly what had just occurred, but she wasn't gonna mention anything to do with Lyanna Stark again, with what happened in Winterfell between the two of them.
Oh no, it's back to Gunnar.
Yes, but
She wasn't Gunnar.
She's not she's not saying was sat.
so we went to. She wasn't gonna mention, but then she wasn't sat. She's just sitting. She is now sitting. Oh my god, this is this the negging thing that you guys were talking about? Where he's negging us, isn't he? I'm just messing with you guys. Her mother sat at the table and carried on nibbling at the grapes in front of her. You don't nibble grapes; you just put them in your mouth and chew.
Yeah. Make
Ever
quite a
nibbled
mess.
at a grape?
You'd make it quite a mess if you just nibbled at it.
And then they're royalty, so I guess okay, whatever.
You'd
The little
still
ray of
make
sunshine.
quite a mess.
That's fair. Rainy's
Which is
the
not
ray
something.
of sunshine. Not something what?
Not something they would want to do.
That's fair.
Since they're getting dressed for something important. Sounds like.
Wow, look at you using logic. Wait a minute. We don't. That's not allowed in this house. Rhaenys was quite aware of what she was doing and found it rather amusing. I know what you're doing, Mother, she said as she stared at the looking glass and contemplated her appearance. Good enough. I have no idea what you are talking about, my sweet princess, her mother said in a light tone. She rolled her eyes and finally looked at her mother. I thought you had a meeting with Lady Cersei to attend to, Mother, or had you forgotten? She said as the corners of her mouth started to rise. Her mouth followed suit, then all of a sudden snorting, before turning back to the bowl of grapes that she found ever so interesting. This is so cringe.
Yeah.
I do, but she can wait. Her mother shook her head. Never liked that woman. Don't like the way she looks at your father or Egg either, she said. I just realized, Cersei essentially demanded an audience.
Yeah.
And instead of just saying no, she's just making her wait.
She's going to blow up the recept.
You're quite literally the queen of the seven kingdoms. Act like it.
I mean, this is what actually happens if you demand to speak with the manager.
Ah, Karen strikes again. All right, okay, we're not calling her Cersei. We're calling her Karen.
Yeah,
I thought you had a meeting with
Karen
Lady Karen
Baratheon.
to attend. Yeah, Karen Baratheon. All right, I gotta remember these. Hold on. So we got Ned Stark,
Lyanna's
Lyanna's
beloved brother,
beloved brother,
the timid
the
little bunny rabbit.
little bunny rabbit. We have Red Roach. We have Karen Baratheon. I'll do Karen with a C, not a K, because it's
And
like
like
Cersei. It starts with a C.
and Lady Catelyn.
The
Hey, Lady
Thunder
Catelyn.
Thundercut.
Lady Catelyn, the Thunder Cunt.
and Jory, captain of the household guard.
Yeah, in case
Oh,
you didn't
yes.
realize who it was. You're a captain of the household guard. Oh, and Sir Arthur Dane the Quiet.
Yes, the Shadow,
The Quiet
the
Shadow,
Quiet
that's right.
Shadow.
Eh. Oh, hey, this is a list.
Oh,
Myth.
Yay, we
Oh.
have a list.
it's a list.
Myth.
List of nicknames. Just pin this comment here. Done. List of nicknames established. Might as well copy paste it into the other server. There we go. Anyway, moving on. Something about her waiting. Never liked that woman. Okay. Now, mother. The quicker you meet with her, the quicker you get to return to me, so you can help me choose what to wear at the feast tonight, she replied. Her mother really smiled then. Wow, were the smiles before fake? When did you get so wise? She said as she stood from her chair and walked over to her. Besides, I know exactly what you can wear tonight, she said as she made her way to the door.
I mean,
turned-
okay, if Ned is going to do this with John, I guess Aaliyah can do it with Rhaenys.
Yep. I mean, she did it with Lyanna, so I mean, this is more of the same, right? She likes him young. I mean, yeah, technically she's 20 here, but like Elia's like 50. I'm kidding. She's probably like 35. Actually, no, probably not. Probably 40. I actually don't know when Elia was born.
uh,
Well, in chapter 1, he did say that Elia was like in her 20s compared to Lyanna, right?
yeah, I think.
I think we'll leave that one hanging for a while we'll figure it out later. Oh wait, there's a change here, but let's finish here. Her mother opened the door and turned around to look at her. Why, one of your name day gifts, of course. The rest I'll give you shortly after, she replied. A special gown for a special occasion. You're 20 years old now, you old bat. Wow. You're not long for this world anymore, remember? Her mother said with a cheeky grin. Hey, make sure this isn't the Lannister grin, alright? They'll sue you. The trademark Lannister
Right.
grin. Mother, she huffed, caught completely off guard. Her mother just chuckled as she walked out of the room and closed the door behind her. Point of view change. Red Roach. Red Roach Stark. Something was off. They'd been riding back to Winterfell for a few hours now. Leaving Alice behind in Hornwood was one of the hardest things he'd ever had to do, especially since they'd only just got her back. She told him that she'd miss him, but reassured him that it wouldn't be long before they were wed. He told her to send him a raven when she arrived back in Carhold, his worry becoming more profound after recent events. After a kiss goodbye, oh, Red Roach, hell yeah, and a firm handshake with Lord Harrion. Red Roach, his father, and his brother all set off with the rest of their party, all the way back to Winterfell. The excitement of getting back home was felt throughout the entire group. Or so he thought. His father looked like he was marching off to war. It was very apparent that words were had between his father and John. Him and Alice had heard raised voices from down the hall after John had left and returned to his room a couple doors down. He'd expected to hear his father having a strong word with his disappearing son, but what he hadn't expected was John's raised voice, giving as good as he got. Wait, giving as good as he got? Didn't didn't Ned just run away
Yeah,
or grow timid as hell?
yeah.
Oh, that's fair enough. Yeah, it's still going, bud. This will never end, sir. He'd never heard John raise his voice to their father. In fact, he'd never heard John raise his voice to anybody ever. Whoa, whoa. Did he
Uh,
forget the part where he. Ugh. Okay.
um,
Just give me a second here.
inconsistencies.
Yeah. Just just collecting myself emotionally.
I
Okay, I'm better
understand.
now.
I've had to do that a lot.
I'm sorry.
Those
I like
lists
to think
take a lot out of me.
I like how you made the reply in Dumpster Fire.
Yes.
Y'all got any more of them lists? Not yet. That didn't happen so far. Let's see. Let's see where we're
I,
at now.
they were in the room alone, all three of them together, though.
Yeah, they had a threesome, but it didn't necessarily it was mutual enjoyment.
Yeah.
He'd always stew
Red
quiet.
Roach had both Alice and John on his hanging off his arms.
Hell yeah. Red Roach is the alpha in this situation.
I mean, of course.
He'd always stew quietly somewhere on his own after any kind of confrontation. But the new John seemed to have no problems with barking back at the patriarch of House Stark. If there was one change he'd noticed within his brother, it would be this new confidence that seemed to radiate from him like an aura. It wasn't the only change he'd noticed either. It was mainly his physical changes.
As though the John before leaving wasn't confident.
Yeah, the John
The
from
man
before
took on 3 of the Winterfell guard, broke
killed a
Theon's
bunch of wolves,
nose, like called Catelyn the Thunder Cunt to her face.
killed a bear with a dirk, and just showed up back to the back to Winterfell like nothing happened.
Yeah, he didn't have a problem with being confident.
Yeah. Let's see here. It wasn't the only change he'd noticed either. It was mainly his physical changes. I'm sure he got very intimate with those changes earlier. Red Roach was always the big brother of his siblings. You're not big anymore, if you catch my drift. Showing a good example to Bran and Rickon, keeping Arya out of trouble whenever he could, and humoring Sansa when she talked to him about some of her womanly interests. All in all, Red Roach was the protector of his brothers and sisters, the big brother who kept them safe from themselves and others. John had smashed that image into 1,000 pieces the moment he locked eyes with him in the courtyard. I'm guessing this is going to be elaborated upon. He'd still protect his family to the best of his ability if the occasion were to arise. Oh, yep, there it is. John is just better than me. I've seen him only once in the last 3 years, and I immediately understand that he is better than me in every way possible.
Yep.
His brother looked like he'd just come back from fighting a war and training in a mountain for a few years. He was bigger than him. Before he left, but now it was just annoying. All right. He's even bigger now. I'm sorry. The years spent away had been good to John, he had to begrudgingly admit. As much as he'd have wanted him to stay, he couldn't deny those years away had made him into a better, more refined man.
Oh.
He felt shameful when the idea of Alice preferring John over him came to his head. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh.
I'm not.
Red looks
This
like
is
Red
not
Roach already knows what's gonna happen.
Red Roach. No, don't let that thought. Don't give that thought space in your head. It'll stay there, please. He loved his
You,
brother. What?
Red Roach can't let John win this one,
But the
but we know
thoughts
he's
wouldn't
going
go
to.
away. They stuck with him when the three of them talked in his room. They slowly dissipated, though, the more and more they talked. It was clear that the relationship between his betrothed and her savior was more familial than lustful. He'd laughed when John had said that his sister-in-law had already told him off a few times for bad behavior, and that he was borderline afraid of her wrath. Look, man, I, I think at this point I keep doing it on purpose. Did you read that comment?
Yeah, really struggling not to pick all the low hanging humor fruit.
His jealousy had completely disappeared when Alice had sucked his face off. Oh, I guess kisses. As soon as John had left the room.
No, she's one of those face huggers from Alien.
God. Those things are horrifying.
And that is now what Alice is.
Alice is the face hugger.
Yep.
Alice Karstark, the face hugger. All right, let's just edit the list here. Lady Alice Karstark, the face hugger. There we go. List improved. Those enemies from Bloodborne. I only remember a few enemies from Bloodborne.
Never played Bloodborne.
Do you like losing a lot?
I have started to play Dark Souls, so I do know the concept.
Okay. If you enjoy it, you should try Bloodborne. Um. Okay, here. Alice had left him before he'd finished his bath, before the touches here and there became more than just touches. A kiss goodbye before slipping out of his room left him with a grin on his face that just didn't want to go away. His day had finished off well. Alice was back, and so was John. He shook his head to disperse his thoughts and looked across to where John was sat
And we're back to that.
on a red stallion. A red stallion? Those are a thing? They just red stallion. No, they came in red. I guess maybe it's like a brownish red. I can't imagine a horse being totally red. Anyway, was sat on a red stallion conversing with Sir Roderick. The old man was bellowing with laughter with whatever John was telling him. In his peripheral vision, he could see Theon riding next to him with a look of misery on his face. He knew exactly why he was miserable.
Yeah, all the images I'm looking at, I'm seeing are just brown.
Yeah. He leant over and spoke in his ear. You had a go at me a few days ago for being miserable. Maybe you should listen to your own advice and cheer up, he said as Theon eyed him with an annoyed look. Oh, you're talking to me now, are you? There was me thinking I didn't exist, Theon grumbled out as he stared straight forward.
He's a Zundere.
He sighed. Come on, Theon, be reasonable. I've not seen John in 3 years. None of us have. I'm ashamed to say that I actually thought he'd passed away a long time ago. So you can imagine what I felt when I saw him in good shape when we returned to Ownwood, he said. Theon and reasonable didn't really mix, but he was hoping he could eventually get him and John on good terms. Holy crap, you think this is gonna happen?
No.
No,
Actual reconciliation. Come on.
No. I don't have
no.
that faith.
I think he will
Please.
get a punch in the face.
Come on, man. I'm gonna hope this happens.
Like
You
this
guys.
next sentence is a deliberate bait and snatch.
No.
Like
No.
he wants you to hope for that reconciliation.
Dragons fly the skies again, probably. I've not
Get
been,
it?
yeah, because there's a yeah. Maybe this will actually work because there are dragons in the skies now.
Yeah, but it still didn't happen.
Who's talking here? Rob,
Red Roach.
Red Roach. I've not been ignoring you. I've just been preoccupied. That's all. He finished, dreading the reason why Theon was now grinning. Oh, aye. And what's been keeping you preoccupied, eh? What are you, Canadian? It wouldn't happen to have something to do with that pretty lass of yours leaving your room last night with a red face, hmm? He asked, looking almost predatory.
Okay, now you have to give Fion a Canadian accent.
I can't do the Canadian accent. I'll be honest. I really can't. I've tried. I can't do it. All I can say is a boot, and that's it. Emnim. He shook his head and looked away from him. None of your business. But if you must wait, no. This is Rob, Red Roach. He shook his head and looked away from him. None of your business. But if you must know, I've been trying to figure out what has happened between Father and John. They've barely spoken a word to each other since we set off. Doesn't help with the longing looks Father has been sending John all afternoon. Just calmly,
Even he
this-
notices.
There's low hanging fruit, and then there's that.
Oh, okay. Now we know why Catelyn can't stand John, because that is always eyeing him.
Saranath, is this good enough for you? I can't make it better than this, man.
Like that's gone beyond low hanging, and that was just set on the ground for us.
Theon just scoffed at him. John. Anyone would think you'd rather marry him than that little lady of yours with how much you talk about him. Theon
A boot.
mocked. About him. Okay, that's the only thing I'll say. I'll add an
Also-
A to other sentences.
Also, yeah. So now Rob also wants to. Oh, Red Roach also wants to marry John.
I mean, he already had a threesome with him and Alice.
Yeah.
Remember?
That's true. With how much you talk about him, eh? Theon mocked. He looked back at him. Okay, Red Roach. Why can't you just get along with him? It would make everybody's lives a little easier. Have you even spoken to him since he's been back? He asked. Have I? Fuck. not had the chance with everybody else clambering over each other to talk to him, eh? It's not like I want to talk to him anyway. I have nothing to say to the bastard, he replied.
Okay, we are so deep into the he, I don't know who he's talking about anymore.
I don't know. If you're not actively forcing yourself to keep track of everything above here, and like you just look at the context of the conversation, this will confuse the hell out of you. So like
Yeah.
How,
he looked back at him, and then it's like this. You just realize it's Rob. However, it should have been Rob looked back at him.
Yeah.
This should have been
also,
Theon.
the latest YouTube comment is also good at this place.
It's not like I want to talk to him anyway, baka.
Theon's a tsundere.
He looked across to where John was and realized he was moving over to speak with him. Okay, this is Red Roach. It looks like you'd get your chance now, he said as he nodded in John's direction. Theon attempted to bolt off. Get it? 'Cause bolt on, bolt. Okay, never mind. But Red Roach grabbed his shoulder. Oh no, you don't. We're talking this out like grown men. Hell, you might even like the new John. Give him a chance, he said as he felt Theon's shoulder slump under his hand.
Okay, after all this innuendo, I think he actually means something else.
Oh yeah, like John is gonna break him in. You might like the new John. Fine. Theon growled out. John approached them both and moved to the other side of Red Roach. Red Roach? Theon? He said as he nodded at the pair of them and clapped Rob on the shoulder. At least one of them was trying to be civil. John, he said as he nodded back at him. He noticed Theon didn't bother saying anything. Rat. What were you and Sir Roderick laughing about just now? See this sense here? He asked as he eyed his brother. He asked, you wouldn't know who the hell is talking here. And then you see as he eyed his brother, which instantly says Rob is looking at John. But what if
Or
you
John is
assume that
looking
they
at
all,
Rob.
or John is looking at Rob, you're a Red Roach. But I mean, maybe you can assume that Theon is technically now their brother because you hear it a lot in the story that they
Yeah.
talk, they refer to themselves as brothers. So, John was currently burning a hole into the back of their father's head. He definitely need. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is still Red Roach. He definitely needs to have a private word with him about that. John shook his head. By the way, this isn't actually a thought. This is just him probably accidentally putting italics on this because if it was a thought, it would say I definitely need to have a private word with him about that. Not he needs.
I think it's a thought and he just fucked up.
Fucked up the writing of it. Yeah, that's fair. John shook his head. I was mentioning some of the antics I've found myself getting into the past 3 years. He seemed to find some of it funny, and I couldn't help but laugh along with him, he said as he smiled at him. He found that John was out of his shell a lot more than he was before he left. Theon chuckled next to him. Please don't say something stupid. Please don't say something stupid. Probably laughing at you than with you, eh? He said as he laughed at his own words. Fuck's sake. John, to his credit, laughed along with him. Yeah, probably. Some of the things he was laughing at, I didn't think they were that funny. But obviously I was wrong.
You must read it.
His nose is still broken.
Okay. Nice nose, by the way. John said as he smiled back at Theon. Theon's smile dropped, and he just looked away. Can we just put this all past us and move on? Are you telling me that 3 years away from each other hasn't calmed whatever trouble you had between the pair of ya? He said, frustrated at their attitude towards each other. I moved on a long time ago, brother. I was just complimenting Lord Greatjoy here on his wonderful nozzle. The artist who created such a piece must have been a genius, he said, still with a smile on his face. John, come on, he said, exasperated with the whole conversation at this point. John sighed. Fine, he said as he moved his horse across to ride next to Theon. He could see a small sneer on Theon's face as John moved next to him. Theon actually flinched when John shot his hand out towards him. He recovered and looked down at it in confusion.
Wow.
I'm sorry about the nose. Let bygones be bygones, eh, Greyjoy? He's calling him out on his being Canadian,
Hey.
John said as he held his hand out for Theon to shake. Alright, what do you guys think? Is he gonna shake it or is he gonna say something stupid?
He's gonna say something stupid.
He's gonna say something stupid.
I want to say that he's gonna shake it and everything will be happy. Let's see what happens.
If he did that, we wouldn't have another punch scene.
Look,
And we
man.
need one.
So we're gonna get wait till my dragon hears about this.
Wait till my dragon hears about this. Shake the hand and you idiot. Theon begrudgingly shook his hand, but not without something stupid spewing out of his mouth. Hey, let's move on, bastard, he said as he tried to pull his hand away. John held it like a vice if Theon's face was anything to go by. God damn it, it was almost good. We almost
So close.
so close,
We were
man.
both right. We were both right. He shook the hand and he said something stupid.
Re-break the nose. And this
Man,
guy
this guy
hates Theon.
hates Theon. Yeah, he does. Everyone hates
He hates
Theon.
Theon. He hates Ramsay. He hates Joffrey, even though this isn't the same Joffrey.
Oh, he is the same Joffrey from the
Okay, he is
description.
the same Joffrey. He shouldn't be the same Joffrey, is what I'm trying to say.
To be honest, I can buy that any first child of Cersei would turn out like that, no matter who it's from.
Well, that's the thing. Tommen and Myrcella did not turn out like that.
That's why I said the first child.
The only reason Cersei went down that path was, okay, it's more than one reason. One, Jaime was with her. Two, Robert was still infatuated with Lyanna, and Robert essentially had sex with everything that moved.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
like their first night together, Cersei was ready to make it work, and Robert said Lyanna's name.
But
I know what you're saying. Stannis isn't exactly the most.
He's the opposite of Robert. So I don't think she would love him either.
Hard to say.
Just for a different reason.
Hard to say. You would have to actually write an entire fan fiction, or like explore their personalities in a setting to be able to figure that one out. Because if she's actually putting forth an effort, then he'll reciprocate it because he feels it's his duty to. Even though he might not feel anything, she won't know that he doesn't feel anything unless he specifically tells her he doesn't feel anything.
I think she would know because she's really good at taking slides.
Like even like it I feel like it would have to be Robert that put forth the effort for things to have changed.
Yeah, but with Stannis, it's completely different. Like, for one thing, he doesn't
Oh,
have
yeah.
as many negative qualities, and for the other thing, it's not like he would just ignore her. I think he ignored. I think Stannis's life, in like considering what happened to him, is he essentially sacrificed everything for his brother and held the
Yeah.
castle, and they were about to be overwhelmed. And his reward for doing all that was
Losing his
losing his seat,
inheritance and
losing
being
his
given the
inheritance, and
Dragonstone.
getting sent to the middle of nowhere. Because Dragonstone is a dump, more or
Yeah.
less. Like that, you can't grow anything on there. All you can sell is a bunch of rocks. And yeah, sure, I get it. The stones from there, the obsidian is valuable against the whites and the others, whatever. But in terms
Well,
of real value, it has none.
and Robert
what
specifically gave him Dragonstone as a snub.
As an insult, and the whole
did
Yeah.
thing
did,
with
did
the
he? Because
Yeah.
I've read he actually gave it to him because Dragonstone was the for the next in
No,
line of the
Robert
throne.
canonically hated Stannis. Like, did
yeah,
everything
Robert
he
hates
could
Stannis.
to like insult him at every turn. So
Okay.
Yeah, like
Eh,
Stannis's personality is partly because of Robert, which
okay.
wasn't much of an issue before the war because Robert was up in the Vale. So you have Stannis, who Robert died. Stannis got Storm's End. He got a wife that isn't being influenced by her twin brother, and who will actively try to make it work.
Okay. Sorry, but he didn't influence her. She influenced him.
They influenced each other, even though she was the main influence on him.
Yeah, I know. I think she's the main.
They both have
but
agency.
still she didn't have Jamie around.
He
But
So
affects her, even though it's not a massive change.
okay. We don't know the canon of the story because did she still visit Maggie and had this whole prophecy thing? Because this is very different.
She probably still visited Maggie because that was way before the rebellion.
Yeah, but the prophecy would have to be different, or it just wasn't true.
We don't know that, but even then, like that wouldn't. She would have essentially forgotten about that a little bit. She wouldn't fully obsess over it unless she was queen.
yeah.
But she isn't. She wasn't a queen here. She's the Lady of Storm's End.
Yeah,
Because in the
true.
prophecy, it was specifically her asking about her having kids and her husband, the king, having kids. And she makes the prophecy that gold will be their crowns and then shrouds, and then her little brother will kill her, right?
So, so,
Yeah.
so, so, so she still killed Melara Heatherspoon in the story, probably.
Who knows? This isn't something this guy would have thought about. Honestly, I doubt he'd even consider this as part of the story.
True.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to Theon stabbing John and getting punched for it.
All right. I give up with these two. You want to be careful, Theon. Greyjoys are dropping like flies lately. Ominously growled out at Theon. Wait, where's his name? Still gripping
Ominously.
his hand hard.
I love how Derk can't come up with an original line and just rip something from
Yeah, like this is Tyrion's
Tyrion.
line.
Kings are dropping like flies. Like,
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Theon exclaimed as wait, what the fuck is that supposed to mean, eh? Theon exclaimed as people started to turn and look at the pair of them. Nothing. Just make sure you don't find out, that's all. Why are you fucking threatening every single person in the group you're with?
because he's been to Japan.
Yeah, you're right. He's Weeb Lord 5000.
Because he's the Alpha Lord of the North.
He's got Kirena backing him up.
This is John's reaction to everything now. Like, watch this.
In my culture, I would be well within my rights to dismember you.
This is his reaction to everything now.
Yes.
In my culture, I would kill you.
In my culture, I would be well within my rights to dismember you.
Yeah, like you can change it for this story and shift it to be like, in my culture, I would be well within my rights to make vague, deadly threats at you. Make vague, deadly threats your way. Okay, he released Theon's hand and moved his horse back next to Red Roach. He looked at John and ducked his head. John, Theon has the right of it. What was that supposed to mean? He asked in a hushed tone as people started minding their own business again. He noticed his father's intense stare aimed directly at the pair of them. John shook his head. I might tell you some other time. We'll see, he said as he looked across towards Theon, who looked like he wanted to run John through. Whoa.
Whoa.
Theon and John.
Theon X John.
Hell yeah. That's why they didn't shake hands. They wanna do something more than that.
They want to cross swords.
Hell yeah. Oh, it's terrible. I've met your uncle, you know. I wasn't a fan. But suppose I wasn't the only one, to be fair, he said. That perked Theon up a little. My uncle, he said with genuine interest. John nodded. Yeah, your uncle Urine. I suppose we should be thankful you didn't turn out as bad as he did. Fucking nutcase, he sneered, a look of disgust appearing on his face. Yeah, good plan on mending the fences with the Greyjoy by telling him you killed his uncle. But let's see if this actually works. Hopefully they make up.
I mean, technically, he was already banished from the Iron Islands, so
That's true.
I don't.
And didn't Theon wasn't he scared of Euron?
Yeah.
Like there was some kind of feeling about him.
Everyone was scared of Euron.
Okay, yeah, obviously. Well, okay, no one was scared of urine.
Yeah.
Finger up the bum.
Euron didn't do anything to be scared of.
Finger in the bum. Classic urine right there.
Finger in the bum.
That was probably the biggest compliment John has ever given to Theon. That's a compliment?
Saying that he didn't turn out as good as Urine. As bad as Urine.
No one has seen my uncle in years. Where did you find him? Theon, where'd you find him, eh? Theon asked. He seemed genuinely interested on news about his family. A long way away from here, John answered as he locked eyes with their father, who abruptly looked away. Theon just huffed at the answer he got. Now he really wanted to know what had happened between John and their father. Rob. It took me a second, but this is Red Roach. He nudged John's shoulder and nodded in their father's direction. What's all that about then? He asked. Wait, no, this is Red Roach. What's all that about then? He asked. John looked at him. I think you know what that is about, he said. Red Roach just shook his head. John sighed and nodded towards their father. Name the one thing I've always wanted from that man, he asked, realization hitting Red Roach like a force. He nodded his head and looked down in resignation. Your mommy, he answered, not even having to look up to know he was right.
Name the one thing I've always wanted from that man. Your mother. John's Targaryen heritage poking through there with those desires.
Hell yeah. Yes, my mommy. We had a few heated words last night, and I told him we were having a chat about her when we arrived back at his home. John answered. Red Roach shook his head. Our home. It's always been our home. Your home, he said with authority. John smiled and shook his head. No, it's not, Red Roach. It's never been my home. I know what a home feels like, and it felt nothing like Winterfell ever did. Don't get me wrong. I loved the place and a few of the people in it. What that place did to me were never the actions of somewhere I'd call home. What?
What?
Like, I understand what he's trying to say. Like, what happened to me there makes me not look at it as home anymore. Okay, that would pass. But home is not a person.
Yeah.
John answered. He probably didn't learn how to speak properly because he didn't read it in a book.
Wait. Cue the Don Toretto meme. You don't do that to family.
Oh God, Dom, he's too strong. He's not as strong as family. He knew it was bad enough for him to run away, but he didn't know it was that bad. A feeling of anxiousness started to bubble in his stomach. Was John not planning on staying? Would he be disappearing again for another 3 years? It'll be different now, John. You just wait and see, he promised. Even to his ears, it didn't sound all too convincing. Bro, you're the heir of Winterfell, soon to be the Lord. Before John was even able to reply, the front of their retinue probably started moving their horses into a gallop. Him, John, and Theon joined in. Sir Roderick moved across to join in with their small group. What's all this in aid of what? What's all this in aid of Sir Rod? What's all this in aid of Sir Roderick? He shouted across to him.
Say what?
I don't know. Let me read the next sentence. Let's see if I can get some context here. We're a few miles out of Winterfell, and your father wanted to get back before nightfall. Oh, okay. So he's asking what are they doing? Sir Roderick shouted back. He nodded at the old knight. Home. All he could think of were people's reactions to seeing John arriving with them. This could get messy. Holy crap. He didn't write Arya correctly. Come on.
Ira.
Ira.
Okay.
Is that her new name now?
Yeah, this is Ira.
Ira.
Ira Stark. All right, let me just add it to the list. We have a list now.
Ira Stark, the what are we going to call her?
I don't know. We'll figure it out as we read her point
Yeah.
of view chapter.
All right.
For now, she is simply Lady Ira Stark. Yeah, he's speaking English. All right, English.
English.
English. Japanese. I shouldn't speak like that. That's kind of mean. She rolled her eyes as Brand went off on another rant. She was positive he was trying to wind her up, and annoyingly, it was working. What's he ranting about?
No idea.
She turned to him as they sat there. Oh,
I'm not getting my hopes up again.
all right. I am, though. In the main hall, finishing their dinner. Will you shut up about it already? She said, exasperation evident in her tone. Her brother looked so excited with the way he bounced in his chair. I can't, Ira. It's so exciting. How are you not excited? He said. She huffed. I'm not excited because I'm pretty certain you were seeing things, that's why, she said. Bran shook his head. Nope. I saw it with my own eyes, Ira, flying high up in the clouds. It was hard to see, but it was there, he said. Oh, it's a dragon, isn't it? Yep. She
Of
finished the
course.
last bit of her chicken pie. You didn't see a dragon, Bran. It was probably a bird. Now will you stop blabbering on about it? She said as she about polished off her plate. Gage really was a wizard when it came to pie making. So, this feels weird because she's supposed to be just as obsessed with dragons as Bran is.
Yeah.
If he tells her he saw a dragon, she would try to find one too. She wouldn't just tell him,
That she did it, that he didn't see it.
yeah. Unless there
Right.
was a passage here that said she didn't. She watched for days and didn't see it. But okay. Let's see. Oh God, all the
Oh
maids in the
no.
castle. That's right. The maids are gonna go crazy. Oh, I hope Ira doesn't go crazy. Oh God, that would not be good. And now that I've put that thought in your heads, it's most likely gonna happen.
Of course it will. He's a Targaryen. What are you expecting?
I don't know what I was expecting, man. Bran just leant back in his chair and crossed his arms. Operation Brood was a go. What the fuck is this? When did they join the American military? SG-1, you have a go. That's what I was
Godspeed.
thinking here. Godspeed. Thank you, General. God, I should watch that show again. Oh! Our boy.
Jory, captain of the household guard.
Jory, captain of the household guard, came through the hall doors and moved towards their mother. The Thunder Cunt. Lady Cuntlin, whispering into her ear and shooting off again in a hurry. Wonder what that's about. Right, children? Finish off your meals. Your father and brother's retinue have been spotted and should be home shortly, her mother said as she looked at them all with a small smile on her face. Now that was more like it. Things were getting a little dull around here lately. Maybe her father or Red Roach would have some stories to tell. Hopefully they'd found Alice as well. She'd not really talked to her that much the few times she'd been at Winterfell. But she seemed nice, and Red Roach seemed to act very silly whenever she was around, almost like a lost puppy.
Oh.
So, just give me a second here. Red Roach, Stark,
The lost
Alice's lost puppy. Go. The list is getting better and better. Jory, captain of the household guard, in case any of you didn't know, stuck his head through the door. They're about 5 minutes away, my lady. Milady. Hat tipping intensifies. He said and returned to whatever he was doing outside. Come on, Ben.
He was doing.
He's just busting a nut. He just went back to whatever he was doing. He's the guard. He guards them.
He's
That's his
captain of the
job.
household guard. He's captaining of the household guarding.
He's I like the way he said that. Her mother said as she rose from her seat and placed a hand on Sansa's back. We don't want to keep your father and brother waiting, she finished as they all rose from their seats and headed out into the cold evening air.
Cuntlin's not going to be happy.
They were stood in the courtyard for only a couple of minutes before they heard the sound of hooves in the distance. The excitement was brewing inside her. "Stop fidgeting, Ira," her mother chided. She just rolled her eyes as the main gate to the courtyard was opened up by 2 guards, and a group of horses trotted their way in. Oh, I just hiccuped. No. Red Roach curled up on a pillow on the floor, dressed as a dog. Oh no!
No.
Why? No!
No.
This is awful. You should write a story about this, Saranath. She noticed her father straight away, all the way at the front where he belonged. Then she noticed Red Roach and Theon. Theon looked the same as he always did, annoying and up himself. He says this a lot. Is this like a known thing to say somewhere?
I have not heard it outside of this.
Yeah, like I would assume it's something like full of himself, but whatever. But her brother Red Roach looked happy, very happy. The grin on his face almost made her grin for some reason, and she would have if time hadn't just stopped.
Dum, dum, dum.
Sat on a horse next to Red Roach, was a very familiar boy. Oh, he's a boy now? A boy who was looking in her direction and smiling at her. A boy that was making it hard to breathe for her and made her eyes water. She could almost feel her mother tense up next to her as she felt a tear run down her cheek. Her legs had a mind of their own as she started sprinting towards him, towards her brother, towards John. Oh, I was confused who that was, you know? Uh, maybe someone else. She heard behind her Bran and Rickon gasping, and her mother once again telling her off, but she didn't care, not one bit, as she collided with John's body and wrapped her arms around. Wait, wasn't he on a horse?
Last I checked.
Yeah.
Scroll up a bit, and up and down. Group of horses try their way in.
She jumped him.
Oh yeah, because you're right. It's this is exactly how she defeated the Night King in season 8. Remember season 8 when she jumped out of nowhere? Season 8. I like your silence. Like you're not even acknowledging it.
I actually had a coworker 2 days ago who said season 8 wasn't that bad. I gave him the look of disgust it deserved. And I said shame.
I'm proud of you for doing that. So she either leapt on top of the horses or the horses killed her, right? We can agree on that.
Probably.
Everpeach, what a degenerate. Up himself was a thing in Australia. As you know, this guy is probably Australian.
Oh
Australia,
no.
as they say it.
Oh
Oh
no.
no.
Oh God, do I have to speak in an Australian accent anytime John says anything?
No.
Why is Australia giving us all of the dumpster fires?
I don't know, man. Australia
Radiant
itself,
Arabian Nights is also from Australia.
yeah. Oh God. Okay, she didn't care, okay? Collided okay. Burying her nose into his midsection. Well, at least it's not somewhere else. Thank God. She felt arms wrapping around her, and then she was being lifted up into her brother's arms. She buried her face into his shoulder and just let the rest of her tears leak into his furs. John, she mumbled into his shoulder as she felt the hand stroking her hair. "I'm here, little sister," she heard him say as she felt Bran and Rickon's collision with him. He wasn't listening to what he was saying to them as she gripped him harder with her arms. Oh no. He wasn't letting go of him anytime soon. John dropped to one knee as he stopped stroking her hair before wrapping his arm around Bran and Rickon, bringing them into their embrace. It was now a big group hug between the four of them. She heard Rickon sniffling next to him. Oh god, I hope he doesn't call him Rick again. She pulled her face from John's furs and looked at John. She could still tell it was John, but now her brother wasn't a boy anymore. Still her favorite brother, though. You know, they're great friends. Hey, stop trying to disavow people from Australia just because you don't like them, right? Is it because Cetrus is from Australia?
Yeah.
Uh, your country sucks because those people come from it. She thought as she buried her face back into his shoulder. He still smelled the same. Give him a chance. Oh wait, no, this is Red Roach. Give him a chance to breathe, Ira. She heard Red Roach say as he chuckled. She begrudgingly released him from her death grip as he stood back up. He was taller than she remembered. She heard somebody approaching from behind. When she looked over her shoulder, she noticed Sansa and her mother walking towards them. John, was all her mother said as Sansa slowly walked up to John and gave him a quick hug, almost afraid that he wasn't gonna reciprocate the embrace. John wrapped an arm around Sansa's shoulders and returned the hug like she knew he would. Except she didn't know he would because wait, is this Ira or is this Sansa? This is probably not Sansa. You're right.
This is
Her
dumb.
mother made a face that she didn't care much for. Catelyn, John responded. He's so cheeky. That seemed to annoy her mother, with how her face soured, but she surprisingly kept her mouth closed as she reached for Sansa, who reluctantly left John's embrace and returned to her. Ooh. Reluctantly left his embrace. Let's get everybody sorted out and settled in. Get the cooks working on some food for everybody, her father said as she looked towards his steward, Vayon Poole. Vayon Poole, the steward. Just take this here, yeah. So, the next line, Vayon Poole, comma, the steward. The man nodded and walked off to carry out her father's orders. She held John's hand in a death grip as they made their way to the main hall, Bran and Rickon excitedly asking all manner of questions as Red Roach chuckled behind them. I'll tell you all need tomorrow to know tomorrow after a night's sleep, lads. All I want to do is destroy one of Gage's pies and sit amongst my brothers and sisters while I'm doing it. John said with a smile as he looked down at her with warm eyes and squeezed her hand. Let me guess, is Catelyn gonna say you're gonna sit at the lower table? The next hour or so was the best time she'd had for 3 years. John was now walking her up to her bed, walking her to her bed chambers. Guys, little help.
Can't stop.
Oh God. The excitement of
She's
the evening had crept up on her, and now she just wanted to sleep and hopefully wake up the next morning realizing this was all real and that John was really back. At least he gave her a big hug when they entered her room. Oh no, I'll be here tomorrow morning when you wake up, don't worry, he said into her ear as she hugged him back. Knew her so well. She punched him in the arm as he released her. You better be stupid, she said as she grinned up at him. He just ruffled her hair in response. She hadn't realized how much she missed him messing up her hair. Oh dear. He opened her chamber door to leave, but she spoke up before he left. "John," she said. "Yeah?" he said as he held the door open and looked over his shoulder. Aw, so cute. Look at this. They love each other because they're siblings.
No.
"Love you," she choked out as she felt her eyes tearing up again. Damn him for making her soppy. "Love you too, little wolf. Sleep tight," he said, whilst fighting his own war with his tears. He quietly closed the door behind him. She got changed into her night clothes and jumped straight under her furs. It didn't take her long to get to sleep. All she could think of was that John had come back to her. Wouldn't that do the exact opposite?
Yes.
You wouldn't. Ugh. She didn't hear her
But
father
does
open her door. What is it?
does Dirk care?
No, he never does. She didn't hear her father open her door to check on her, or see his face match the soft smile that was present on hers as she dreamt of all the things her and John were gonna get up to. Gonna get up to. Hope you enjoyed it, smiley face. The confrontation between John and Ned might have seemed a bit tame, but I can assure you that was just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh no.
A bit tame? This was tame? This was what?
Oh no.
This was tame apparently.
Oh.
All right. Let's see. Storybox says Ned Stark is about to get fucked up if he tries to lie about Ashara. Uh, uh, bro, it's
Yeah.
it's heavily implied that he's gonna lie about Ashara. Like, why? I hate
There is
comments
no
like
if
these.
about it.
There's no if. Ah, Ned, gonna tell him his mother is Ashara, huh? That most definitely won't backfire. Love the reunions. Ira obviously takes center stage, but the two were the 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 what? The
Oh,
two.
we lost Ryle.
Yeah, he did say he was having connection issues, but he lasted quite a while.
Yeah.
He'll be back. The two little ones were great too, even Sansa. I think this is more than two, if you're talking about Arya and Rickon, because there was also Bran and Sansa, so that's four.
I think it's Arya, then Bran and Recon are the little ones, and then Sansa.
Yeah, true. LOL. God no. Ned is going to say Ashara name. He's gonna say Ashara name. I hope John punches him. We know the tourney is coming up, so John will find out the truth then. Or will Ned confesses? Okay, this guy's English is pretty bad.
Oh no.
Ned is worried about his family date. What?
His family's fate.
Probably. But I am sure John won't let nothing happen to the Starks.
I'm,
So that means he will let something happen to the Starks.
this comment.
Can't wait for the next chapter. Also, are we ever going to see Gary and Lannister ever again? Gosh, I just love the John and Arya moment so much. So genuine and sweet. This
Oh
is why people say that season 8 wasn't so bad. It's garbage like this.
yeah.
This is okay for you guys watching. You guys, I think you guys know how bad season 8 is. But what you don't understand is people do not, for the most part, people do not judge stories the way we do. They just see something that has emotional impact, and that's all they care about.
And then
Like,
they look down on fan fiction.
they also look down on, obviously, yeah, they look down on fan fiction, but if you try to explain this to them, they'll just laugh in your face. It's like if you you know those YouTube review channels where they essentially show the issues with stories, and almost every time people tell them that they're just being too serious. It's like it's bad. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh God, Ned is going there, isn't he? The idiot. Please let this blow up in his face in grand fashion. He 100% deserves it now. Oh, I guess this dude didn't think he deserved it before.
I love how they're calling Ned an idiot for this plan to lie to John. It's a good plan.
Yeah, it's a pretty good plan, actually. Yeah.
Like, Ned, there's no way that Ned could have known that John has already visited Ashara and knows that she's not his mom.
Just when we thought the Targaryen blow wasn't going to show it. Yeah, pretty much. I found the story earlier today. Finished it in one sitting. Benefits of Christmas. Thought the cliffhanger was kind of evil. Whatever. Another gray. Who cares? Hello, I'm Josh. Whilst it is a monumentally dick move to carry on lying about his mother, I can see the logic from it. I cannot, however, see the logic behind saying his mother is a Shara Dane. If he is that desperate to lie, why not just say his mother was some nameless woman who died birthing him, instead of saying it is this famous and alive woman that who John could meet at any time? Thank you.
Someone, that is actually a good point. Someone gives a good point. And my counterpoint is, it's not someone that John could meet anytime from Ned's point of view. She's all the way in Dorne.
Yeah, sure. I mean, he could travel there.
Like, he could.
Yeah, I
But,
understand. Like, this dude doesn't understand that it's not any time. It would take a long time to get there.
yeah.
The problem with that is it wouldn't work any longer. If she was truly unimportant, then Ned would have no justifiable reason not to tell John sooner. There's plenty of reasons. It doesn't need to be justifiable. It just needs to be a reason.
Yeah.
Another reason there aren't many rumors. It absolutely has to be a highborn woman in the people's minds. Otherwise, Ned would have told everyone years ago. No, that's not necessarily a reason.
I mean, the assumption is that
Hey.
it's either a Shara Dane or some common horror in canon, and Ned never says anything. So,
He doesn't have to say anything.
yeah.
You underestimate the size of Westeros. Dorne is on the other side of the continent, so it isn't unreasonable for Ned to think they will never meet. Yep, pretty much.
However, there is that tourney coming up
Yes,
that everyone is expected to attend.
that is true. See, I can understand that. I can't believe that all had happened. He still plans to lie to him. Well, that is going to turn bad for you, Ned, since he knows for sure Ashara is not his mother. Oh, wow. Thank you for pointing out exactly what was told in the chapter. It's like this thing. It reminds me of you know when you watch certain videos on YouTube, and then you go to the comments section, and all they do is just say what happened in the video.
Yeah.
This is exactly it. Yes, let me point out exactly what happened in the video, even though the video itself showed it to us. Why is Ned even lying in the first place? It's not like John is in any danger. Did this guy not read the story? Ned himself is in danger. Fucking coward. Let's see what Alex says. Why kidnap a son of the king? The last kidnapping of a royal term with the end of the House Darkland. Ned has to pay in some way, even if Jon forgives. When everything is known, targets on their vessel, minimum net to the wall. It's like, okay.
Why would Catelyn be sent to the Silent Sisters? Like,
Yeah, I have no idea. Like, she doesn't even know. She wouldn't even. Nothing would happen to her.
yeah. She would probably be sent back to Hoster Tully to live in disgrace because of Ned's actions, but her children would still inherit the North.
Wondering what Ned's entire motive for even hiding Jon in the first place. Doesn't make sense. Why hide that your family has a king's son? Okay.
That's not the implication at all.
From what I remember, he did it out of spite.
Yeah.
And he was angry at his sister.
Yeah.
For realizing this is stupid writing. Oh god. The emoji types.
Oh
Thank you so
no.
much. I love it. Can't wait for the next one. Such a huge chapter. Merry Christmas. Thank you for the Christmas, bro. Can't wait for John's reaction when Ned tells him. Okay, it's going to be funny. Yeah, it'll be a decent read here. I do hope Varys managed to get wind of the dragon and John. That way, maybe the crown can start connecting the dot. Okay,
that
awesome.
should
Can't wait.
happen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it should happen, but it won't happen. But it should.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the next one to read John and Ned's chat, and John and Catelyn coming up against each other. Merry Christmas. We know exactly what's gonna happen with this. I love you for this. I'm so glad you released this early. Looking forward to the clusterfuck that's about to happen. Good work. Amazing as usual. I enjoy this story very much. Tear up. See? It made me tear up. The scene wasn't even good. It made me tear up.
Oh.
81, which means this person is 10 years older than I am. I like how she's pointing out that he would never just say her first name, even though in the earlier chapters he called her a cunt.
Like, he literally calls her Cuntlin.
This is also what I hate about certain types of readers. They read this story and they say Theon is such a dick, instead of saying, "Wow, this guy doesn't know how to portray Theon." Same thing here. Account deleted. This person was so embarrassed that they deleted their account. Let's see this one. You know how to make your audience wanting more. This chapter. No, I'm glad this chapter's done.
Yeah.
Like, well, don't worry, guys. We'll probably suffer again next week, but I'm glad this one is over. This is why I don't read on AO3. No. This isn't why you this. Don't act like this isn't on fanfiction.net. This is
Yeah,
on there as
this
well.
issue is everywhere.
People like this are the reason why fanfiction is viewed with incredible amounts of distaste. They will essentially read anything and call it good no matter what. And if you call them out on it, they'll always reply with the same exact tired lines. Preference is not objective. Quality is not objective. They just shoot out these exact same lines at all times. They just constantly talk crap about.
Or
Uh,
it's fan fiction. The standards have to be lower.
oh yeah, the standards have to be lower because it's fanfic. Well, okay, sure. I'm not saying the standards need to be high. I'm saying the standards need to be basic. This isn't even basic. Like I would consider, um, Okay, Lightning Dragon's Roar is about basic. It's got ideas, but those who have read the story know that my execution kind of needed a lot of work there.
You definitely improved as you went along, though.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what you're looking for, is improvement as you go along.
If I put in Dragon's Redemption, I will put that at high level. I know, like I think it's high level. I don't know what other people think. I would
I
put
like it.
Elemental. I would put Elemental Trinity on mid to high level because that's when I started slowly learning how to fuse two stories together. In Pursuit of Magic, I would put it a little lower than Elemental Trinity in terms of quality. Yeah, most people drop it halfway because honestly, the story is a bit of a mess. I literally the entire point of Lightning Dragon's Roar was just me wanting to put literally everything in the same story. I remember reading an old story. I think it was called Ranma is Legend, and it did the same thing, and I wanted to do something similar. I'll have to look it up and link it. And yeah, thanks. I think it kicks butt too, but nobody wants me to update it.
That is the only one of yours that I haven't read because I'm not familiar with Pokemon.
I mean, I could explain the stuff that confuses you if you really want to read it. But let's see here. Another fantastic chapter done. Hello, please do at least 1 or 2 chapters by the end of the year. I hope Ned gets punched. Oh, hey, look, it's this person. Love how you had John address that wet fish Catelyn. Oh my god, the next chapter will have John be a true dragon when Ned try to lie and say Ashara is his mother. Oh Ned, it's time to fess up. Where were the Transformers? Dude, I don't like Transformers. It wouldn't work in my stories because I don't like it. I mean, I like the movies, I just don't like it in stories. The movies were like a mindless set of explosions, which I love. Ned is
I've
in for
never
a big
heard a more apt description of the Transformers movies.
I don't know. What kind of games are they? Catelyn must be going crazy, but John didn't care at all, which was great. Looking forward to the next conversation. John's threat to Theon was also great. How was that great? He threatened someone that he basically had mild dislike towards. What did season 6 Roose Bolton say? A mad dog will get put down or something. He said that to Ramsay.
Yeah.
I mean, season 8 isn't canon, obviously. Season 6, sorry. Season 6 isn't canon, but I thought that line was good. Great chapter. Thanks for releasing early. I like the interactions between. Yep, always the same. Question more people are seeing John Dragon. When will the secret be out? It should have been out.
Yeah, it should
I'm so
already be out.
anticipating. I
Like,
am
you
so
cannot
anticipating.
hide a dragon of Tyrena's size.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. If he does use it, he really. I mean, why is it if he is using it? Talk about a Christmas. If he doesn't use it, I don't like. It's gonna be impossible. I don't imagine he's not gonna use it because Derk likes to have these situations where John dominates people. Talk about a Christmas gift. The dreams were heartwarming. If Ned tries to, okay, yeah, they're all parroting each other. Merry Christmas. No update on front. Okay. I'm excited for the meeting of Danny, John, and Rainey's. Sweet reunion. Hey, the reunion was great. I'm excited for the
Ready for
talk
the
between
talk.
the talk. See when a man and a woman, or maybe a man and a man, or maybe a woman and a woman love each other, John, or perhaps a father and his son, they tend to engage in strange things in the bedroom.
Oh no.
I'm so hyped for the tourney. Hope you update soon. I want to see how Ned telling John Ashara as his mother will blow up in Ned's face.
It's like you already know it's gonna happen. Why are you?
Look at this
Your
name.
Alistair porn.
Oh shit. Alright. Let's see what Sir Alistair Porn thinks. This is a refreshing fic. I wish the chapters were longer. The story seems to be anti-Ned though, as in canon. The only reason why Ned sullied his own honor by taking John. Blah blah. Second the capital here though, it appears that it's a great length to do something he had no reason to do. Besides that, the fic. Okay. This is a good story, except this part where it makes absolutely no sense. But beside that, it's a really good story.
Except for this central part of the story that makes no sense. But aside from that, it's a good story.
It's a beautiful building. Too bad the foundation is complete shit, but the building is amazing. You know, like as it's falling down, crashing into like 6 different buildings and causing an entire massacre. It's a refreshing story. Ned keeps digging a hole deeper. What?
What?
I don't fucking know. Police send him to the wall, punch him in the face. Ned need therapy. Too bad the Middle
There's not
Ages get a little
therapy
more.
in Westeros.
Yeah, like he points it out.
Yeah.
New chapter soon? Coming soon. Been very busy. Thanks for the news. Please update soon. I guess no update. Finishing the chapter off. They fucking nag the guy.
Well, God, finishing it off and it'll be up within the next hour or so. That means he doesn't do any editing.
Uh-huh. Forget Superman. Here's the true hero. That's the last comment. And 6th of January. He is a true hero. Oh crap. Oh, I didn't see these comments. I don't know, man. Are they fun games? I don't usually play games unless they're fun to play first. Story is second. I mean, I like a game with a story, but I kind of like a game that I can actually play first.
Yeah.
Go back here to scroll up to this comment to make a comment in Dylan's name. What is it if Ed? I'll make it something stupid.
Will John
I'm
call him out on it?
Wait, I should write this incorrectly. I'm excited to essay. Just out. Don't call he out on it. The space here. You know, just because.
Yeah.
If Ned talk about Ashar, will John call he out on it? I excited to essay what John do. I don't know. That's too using an M dash is too mature here. John punch. What do you think?
Yes. John punch Ned?
There we go. Uh, Should I add a list of names to it or no?
Yes, add the list.
Oh,
I've
crap.
got it. I've got it in my pins of Myths Fiction Room.
Oh, hell yeah. Let me just go there. Myths Fiction Room. There it is. Click the pin. Oh, there it is. Copy. Dylan, Harold, James, George, Arthur, Philip, Albert, Richard, Loki, Black, Stark, Slytherin, Gaunt, Stewart, Sayer, Quirrell, Perveril, LeFay, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, Moonlily, Pendragon, Merlin, Emery, Ryan, Ilvermorny, Salem, Flamel, Beaubaton, Shissici, Wagadu, Romanov, Bonham, Fleamont, Barnes, Goldstein, Da Vinci, Goldolfstorets, Washington,
Colostorets.
Franklin, Jefferson. Wait, what?
Colostorets.
Goldolfstorets. Okay, that's better. Jefferson, Hancock, Adams, Van Gogh, Anderson, Buckman, Harkness, Redbird, Evans, Tudor, Ryan. Wait, wasn't there a Ryan before?
Yes,
Somewhere
there
here.
is. Ryan is in there twice.
Oh, whatever, yeah, let's keep it twice. Hohenzollern, Summer, Winter, Avalon, Ironcore, Bones, Nicholas, Lestrange, Potter. Perfect. There. Let me just copy this for Dylan. Actually, he'll want us to put our names as well. Let's see, Dylan, Ryle, Zero, Myth. There we go. Comment. Perfect. We are now page 2, people. Okay. What's the next chapter's title? Let's see, I'm curious. This one was titled The Return. The next one is Lies. Oh no.
Oh no.
He's gonna lie about Ashara.
Who would have ever guessed?
Who would have thought? Chapter 14 Lies next week. I think we'll call it here. How long? Oh wow, this one is less long, shorter than the others. Fuck, my brain
Yeah.
is shutting down.
Only 3.5 hours.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I didn't waste like 10 minutes recapping. Maybe like
Yeah.
5. Let's see. Everpeach is talking about Transformers some more. 2 separate camp. Oh, it's the third-person shooter. Okay, I'll look into it. The only third-person shooter that I ever enjoyed was Warframe.
Never been
I
a fan
guess
of shooter games.
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, did you hear they're making a Knights of the Old Republic game? You're like Star Wars.
I never played the original Knights of the Old Republic, so
I mean, I never
I'm
played it
not as
either.
invested in that as Dylan is.
Most likely, yeah. Dylan will probably go ham with that now that he has a computer, or not. Who knows?
Who
But
knows?
imagine that. Except you can change form at will. Have you played that game? You can change form. You can become a dude instead of a robot of pure destruction. You can become a dude that just walks around very slowly. Yeah, I think I'll end it here.
Yeah. It's a good place to call it. It was fun.
It was real. But was it real fun?
I don't know about that.
All right.
I guess I should thank you. But that'd be out of character. Maybe you should just throw an insult my way instead. Yeah, that sounds better. Still, I owe you.
Goodbye.